What's up? What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Carlotta Chatwood Show. I am Carlotta. Okay, it's been a minute. Okay, it's been a minute. It feels like it's been a minute. Maybe because I've been up under books and papers, shit, and presentations. Yeah, so I am back. You know what? I completed my semester. This is my semester before the last semester. My master's. I have completed. Yes, I am excited, and I'm hoping all has went well. I think it has, but oh my goodness. Listen, I had a presentation last week. I couldn't really say much to y'all at all. And then plus I had not only was I having a presentation, I had theater nights. So I had to go to, the theater, and I do different things with, stuff at whether it's school or the theater I work at, do for Theater Guild, volunteer at. I had it last night. It's been crazy, and then I watched the play. It's just been one of those crazy weeks. But I did finish, man, and my presentation was really. It was I didn't when I was standing up there. I didn't feel like it was a good. But when I got the feedback from my classmates, they loved it. And you know what? I gave away a lot. I gave a goodie bag away because I like giving away things. So it was so cute, my theater presentation, and I was excited because it was for business. It's about business class for theater business management. So I had a blast in that, and oh my goodness! And then the other work I had to do, oh my gosh, just papers, school papers and stuff like that. Y'all, okay, I was so when I finished my last one, I just was like, just sit. I just sit and just was like, what? And I'm hoping my last semester it's really not going to be that hard. I don't think so. It's not that many classes I have to take, and I'm really working on my paper. I'm going to work on my paper. God bless over the summer, my final paper. So I really want my last semester, God willing, to be just a smooth sailing. Nothing but smooth sailing tonight. Anything that you want from me. I just want smooth sailing. Okay, I don't know, I don't know, it is what it is, okay. Oh my goodness, but what has been happening? I don't know. I just saw little things on the internet. I try to post on them. I try to say something about them, but y'all, okay. Do I have an it's a word? I can just talk about what's been happening for me. Okay, I've been, I always go through emotional. I'm emotional. I'm a water sign, so I'm always reading what's going on in my emotions. Even though I'm a cardinal sign, a lot too on the inside, but always trying to deal with the deeper things of my emotions and stuff like that. And this week, I've been dealing with a lot of things about me versus me being my Virgo moon self, picking practicality a lot. I love practicality. Oh God, I let Virgo do that. I just let Virgo. But Scorpio and Leo is my Scorpio sun and Leo ascendant is not happening anymore. It's like, bitch, no. It doesn't want me to pick practicality anymore. It wants me to pick things to be more afraid. And like not in a bad way, in a good way. You know what I'm saying? And I just pick something that, okay, this is simple. I get through it. It's not that it's practical and simple, but it's practical. I just I try to not to sometimes ruffle things. I'm trying to learn how to get out from that. You know, that's me. So that's my what I've been going through, and also I was having a discussion with a friend the other day, and we're talking about looking at self, like how powerful it is to look at self, even when relationships have gone wrong, things haven't gone right, and the other person on the other side may have been at fault, or you thought that they were. It's all I never. I'm trying to learn to never look at other people. I'm trying to learn that because like when you have friendships or family relationships and things like that that don't go well. I'm starting to learn what can I do better? How can I better respond to things? How can I better respond to what this person has done, or how did I set myself up for this type of thing. So that's where I'm at. This is what I've been going through, my emotional thing. So I don't know if it's a word or y'all can use it, but what it is, I think there's two things I've been learning about. Practicality is not always good. Sometimes it's good, but not always. Don't always pick it. And I've been also learning how to, no matter what you think is going on in your life, no matter who's at fault for a thing or what craziness is going on in your life or people are brought into your life and stuff, always look towards yourself and how you can better yourself. Because the more you look at other people, the more you get angry, the more you get mad, all kind of stuff. Yeah, man, you ain't got to do that. So I'm starting to try to learn to be chill about that kind of stuff. I'm learning, okay? I didn't say I'm perfect. I'm learning about it, okay? All right, so y'all, let's get right in. I'm gonna just get right into some stuff that's some hot topics because I don't know what. Listen, I all I said, I'm just gonna throw the first one out here that we see on here. Okay, we can talk about it. Uh, okay, let's see. Okay, so I thought this was interesting. Yeah, you guys know the actress. She used to, I think she was on America's Next Top Model and stuff like that. Was on Godfrey and they have this show where they really like having African American conversations. What I would love for them to do, they really should do, because what they do is get a lot of celebrities or entertainers who are not really reflective of grassroots. A lot of times entertainers are behind. It's no offense to them. They just, because they in such a bubble, you know what I'm saying? So sometimes they don't know what's going on in the grassroots movements. They don't know that sometimes that we've evolved past a certain thing. And I think one of the things that Black Americans have did themselves a disservice on, it's nothing wrong with looking back and wanting to reflect and know about Africa and the different parts of Africa, because Africa is not a country, it is a continent with over 58 countries, all very different, all very culturally different. I saw even last week, South Africans. I saw a thing about South Africans getting mad. I think I had a show. I said something about it on the show a week or two ago about how South Africans were getting upset because other people from different parts of Africa are coming over. I don't know if I got to talk about that. I'm going to try to talk about it again today. I'll try if I remember. But a lot of South Africans are upset because people are coming over from other countries, particularly Ghana and other places, Nigeria and other places, and they're getting very angry about about a sense of some immigration. Now, I don't like you get to angry to the point of violence, because sometimes people mean well, but I think what happens with South Africans, that's, to me, is very different than any group on the continent of Africa. South Africans have been through apartheid and colonialism in a way that no one else on that continent I don't think, has experienced. They've experienced it in some ways, but nothing quite like South Africa. And I think they think after we've gone through the hard stuff, not that we're still not going through things, but now you want to show up. You want to show up and you want to show up here and take from our resources and everything, because now some people, sometimes you have to accept other groups in and stuff like that, refugees, because sometimes things have gotten so violent. But I think that's a world thing. One country shouldn't just take everybody. It should be the world we're opening up to people so that it could be fair and balanced. But I think South Africa's having a hard, because they're saying, hey, we fought so hard for how far we've come. And now you showing up here trying to get at a resource and everything like that, and you think differently from us because you ain't been through what we've been through. Because we know as Black Americans how that feel. You know what I'm saying? You ain't been through what we've been through, but you getting ready to come here cosplaying and change essentially what we've been. And so I think it's very hard. I think it's, you know what I'm saying? There's a protection of culturalism, you know. And I respect that. I understand that. I don't believe in people getting violent about it, though. Lovingly help people to understand that. But I think that most Black Americans love to dress up Africanese because we were at a place in years ago, I think Black Americans were, where there was such low self-esteem, especially in the early 1900s, what Black people were going through. And so anything we would make up anything attached to Africa in ways that, that's when we have Pan-Africanism come along, trying to attach to Africa in ways that we really can't, and trying to and what let me say this. I think we have our own form of Africanism in some ways, because I heard Joy Reid say something, and I totally agree with her on this. She said there are one out of many. That we are a group of people who are from different tribes, and our ancestors were from different tribes and cultures in Africa, because the slave trade happened all along that coast. Okay, so we're not just from Ghana. We're a black, like what they say, Black Americans probably come from a variety of ways. The diaspora comes from a variety of people. But us, when we get in this continent, what we've been able to create is very powerful, because we're the first. What happens in America is when in the United States, in this country, what happens is racism becomes more introduced. Three-fifths human becomes introduced. What the Black American slave trade went through is very different from the rest of the diaspora, even though they may have had elements of it, not quite like what happened in America. Okay. So yeah, so it does matter what port you got dropped off on. Okay. It was different things, different ways. You know what I'm saying? Didn't mean that certain things didn't happen, or elements of certain things, but America is the home of the reintroduction of race and racism and three-fifths humans, and these are slaves, these are not humans, these are people, these are things that are different from us, these are our property, these are this and that, very different. Okay. Whereas Jamaica, things like that, may have had more of a colonial feel. Okay. Which is different. Okay. Chattel slavery is very different. Okay. But I think that what happened is we started trying to attach. We created our own forms of Africanism in trying to reach back to Africa. We be having all kind of cloths and crazy stuff. Don't got nothing to do with Africa. Africans probably be looking at us like, what's that mean? Because we try to connect, you know what I'm saying, and stuff like that. But the truth of the matter is that that is to me, in my personal opinion now, I feel like we don't appreciate what our people went through enough. We constantly disrespect slaves. There is a disrespect for your ancestors who went through that thing, versus the people who traded you over here. You tend to idolize traders and whose continent has not been the same since. So I feel like we have our own heroes. That doesn't mean we don't appreciate people in Africa. We don't love our brothers and sisters all over the diaspora, but it just means we need to learn. We need to stop. We don't understand how the world sees us and how powerful we are in the world. So we have this situation with Yaya talking about on Yaya on English, showing up on Godfrey and them, and making these Africans. I ain't trying to be funny. I'm trying to make them feel that they have something, that we're connected in some ways. We're only connected by the continent. Our ancestors. We're very different. We all humans have some connection or some likeness things, but we are different culturally. Okay. But I thought it was interesting what she says. It brings me to what she is saying. And I feel like this kind of thinking, I think it's nice for her, but I just think it is how Black people have found ways to deal psychologically with racism, and not understanding psychologically what happened to them pre-America, and that you were probably, how you got over here was probably you were under a lower tribe, or people, or just somebody betrayed you. And we don't like to think that about Africa, but it's the very truth. They were no different to me than the colonizers and the white Europeans who participated in slave trades. Matter of fact, I mean, you know what? I think they owe us some reparations, but I digress. But here we are. So let's have a listen at Yaya talking about this talking about this on here. Okay, I thought it was very interesting, so I'm gonna pull it up, y'all. Okay. Okay, they've heard that before. They act like they ain't heard that. Black people been talking like that for years about people talking white.
Or because it's always been about the information.
Come to me in Kiswahili, then we can have a conversation. Come to me. I'm learning Yoruba right now. Then we can have a conversation. Because I'm trying to understand the pre-colonial mind. But how do I do that when all I know are colonial languages? That affects how we think.
Yeah, of course.
You know what I
That
mean?
is powerful, because you just broke, that's just going to break the internet, first off, because the idea that people will say that you speak white, well, yeah, where do you think the word came from? It came from England. Again, that's the English language. They don't know that.
You're talking to Southern black folks that are I'm Chicago.
Right.
Kentucky,
I'm from
Alabama.
Harlem. I can code switch any day.
Yeah, but when they would say, man, you talk white, you're like, what?
It doesn't matter.
Next time somebody, I swear, next time somebody says that to me,
I see what I watch their face.
Oh,
yeah.
I don't care how you speak your English. You still, that's not our native language.
But they were designed that way. That was they were designed that way.
Yeah.
That kind of attitude was designed. So when we meet them, this is all designed, man. So what are you going to tell a dude from Mississippi? Well, man, you black. I'm like, what are you going to tell him? You want to fight you? You're like, well, you know,
I don't know what to tell you.
What it is.
154, we all connected, baby. You already know.
You put your money in.
No, I'm talking 154.
We are definitely speaking a European language, of course, definitely. However, Black people are not the same. We are not the same as even our ancestors. A very biracial, biculturally mixed group. A lot of those slave masters' blood running through our veins. Okay, we were cut off from whatever those original languages. Because Black people get to thinking they study in Yoruba and Swahili and all that. I'm going back to the motherland. No, the motherland is 58 countries. What part did you come from? Swahili might have been your original language. Yoruba might not have been your religion. That's because you don't know nothing about what you're trying to study. You're reading it from a pan-Africanist standpoint. And they know that. They're sitting up here trying, because what I don't like about Godfrey and them, and this is just my personal opinion about them, is they have this thing, they want to be connected so bad. They want to make Africa somewhat connected to us. It is not. The only thing was our ancestors, and it got cut off after probably that first or second generation. So yes, Mississippi people do think of people, Black American people from Mississippi, do not think they're talking white. They think they're talking the English language from which they have been in their families. From not only African ancestry, but from some of our families are from European ancestry, even though it happened in a horrible way. French ancestry. Native American ancestry. Okay, so it's not just one group. You don't go to Brazil and talk to them like that. You don't tell them, they like looking at you like, huh? You know, it's only Black Americans you trying to do this with. because you want to believe you had something to do with it. The only thing you had to do with us is trading us. And all the things we brought over to come together with, okay? Now, as far as Yaya talking about she need to understand the pre-colonial mind, let me tell you what the pre-colonial mind is. The pre-colonial mind is the same as a mindset now. How you got to post-colonialism was pre-colonialism, okay? There's nothing different you're going to find. You're going to find humanity failed, okay? You're going to find humanity still evil no matter what race, even though one race might have been doing the most craziness. You're going to find evil and ugliness in all kind of races. You're going to find greed and everything. How did Black Americans get to Black people all over the world get to in the diaspora? They got in the diaspora by because because of tribalism in Africa and division in Africa that was always there. It wasn't no Pan-Africanism thing, and it still ain't. So that's what the pre-colonial mind is. It's not, you're not gonna find nothing special. You're gonna find that people had the mindset to trade other people that looked like them, even though they were a different tribe or a different group. They didn't consider them that. They didn't go. In America, we have that kind of thing because of what we've been through. Lala Yaya doesn't understand that mindset that she has is actually a very powerful one, because the struggle of Black America brought her to an understanding that you don't trade people don't look like you. We done been through slavery. We are the slaves. We see each other as one. Black Americans see each other as one. Now, some of y'all, she trying to connect back because she don't really understand what she thinking about. Ain't no connecting back because they didn't understand that. They didn't have no unity. We have unity after going through something. They did not have that. The pre-colonial mindset did not have unity, Yaya. Call it white, call it the Europeans was able to come in there, over there, make deals, and then later on just push them out the way and do whatever the hell they wanted to do. And then you still had people from the tribes, from those tribes, you still had people that still wanted to participate in the slave trade when the Europeans didn't want to. So that's the pre-colonial mind. Not unity. You didn't get unity from them. You got unity from what you went through. You thinking you're going to find some sort of unity, some sort of thing, that, connecting back to my Africanism, connecting back to, and that's just part of you, connecting back to certain parts of my Africanism it's going to shine the light. No, it's just going to shine a light on what they were, how dysfunctional they were. But it's in going through something that you learn. Now they've learned because they see throughout the world what has happened. And they saw that what they traded became strong. Particularly one group, we went under the most horrific slavery and slave trade, chattel slavery, and we became powerful, by God's grace. Ain't nothing you got as pre-colonial, but that's because there's this lack of understanding what you go through makes you stronger, makes you more powerful, makes you more wise. We disconnect from the slaves because something has told us that slaves are bad. I don't know what the hell y'all been thinking. Something has told people that I don't want to collect. Like Black people will sit there and try to connect them. We was kings and queens. I used to do that. So people used to think we was kings. And then till I read, no, you were probably the lower tribes, and the kings and queens, they got their kids sent back when they accidentally trade. You can go look it up in what they get in some of these these books and watch. They have I forget what they have on the slave trade. They would write letters to the slavers, drivers, and say, "Hey, you accidentally took my son, who's a prince." They send them back. Okay, you were probably from the lower tribesmen, so you are overthinking what you were at that time. And to them, you were that. But they didn't understand that the lower is the usually the strongest. Okay, just like back in slave trade, the people in the field were usually the strong. Listen, let me tell you something. It is what you go and what you go through. So we don't need to connect. The slaves were very strong. The slaves were very more stronger than any king or queen. They couldn't handle that shit. They would have fell out. They was has royalty. It was you. It was a certain group that was able to overcome all that mess. How dare you be trying to connect back to something and skip over your ancestors and stuff that's slaves? It's just one of my pet peeves. I hate it. Just skip back to go to the people who didn't know no better. That's what I gotta say about Yaya. The pre-colonial mind is a mind that you don't want to know. Okay? Because they hadn't learned anything. They traded some of their best people throughout all of the diaspora. The diaspora was able to create their own places. You have Haiti. Nobody talks to Haiti by Haiti is a such and such. You don't go there and talk to them because they've been through too much in Haiti. They look at you like, what the fuck? We've Haitian. Okay, you don't talk to Jamaicans like that. Jamaicans like, we Jamaican. Yeah, we connect to understand. And Pan-Africanism, I'm sorry that in some ways that Black Americans spreaded that. They did, because we were the creators of Pan-Africanism through Marcus Garvey and other. It was a bad choice, and it came out of people who had low self-esteem and did not understand their place in the world and did not understand who they were in the world. And some still don't. We got about 60% still lost in the sauce. Okay. All right, so moving on. Okay, y'all. Next story. Okay, I saw this story. I just like, what's going on? I don't know. You know what I'm saying? Maybe I'm an old fogey. I don't know if just like, I'm like, are we becoming, maybe we are. I don't know. Because it's okay. Let's see if I can. And Godfrey's podcast is 154 podcasts. They need to bring on people that challenge them too. They need to bring on bringing out people that's easy pickings. Okay. This young lady talks about having sex with a man who was in stage 4 cancer. She was his make-a-wish. So let's take a listen. Hold on. Let me, if I can pull it up, y'all.
Was the star before he died.
Hi, I'm checking.
Stage 4 cancer. Rest in peace, Jake Marshall. But
Rest in peace.
Yes, but his dream was to star before he died.
Hi, I'm checking in because I have stage 4 cancer.
A guy with stage 4 cancer. Rest in peace, Jake Marshall. But
Rest in peace.
Yes, but
okay, so the young lady had sex with a guy whose wish was to have sex with a porn star before he died. That was his make-a-wish. I think I heard a story like this, not to have sex with a porn star, but somebody wanted to meet a celebrity, so they fake having cancer. Yeah, listen. Oh my God, my Jesus. What's going on with the world? But this person didn't fake. They actually passed away. I understand that some people have make-a-wishes, but to me, some make-a-wishes should be private. I don't know. I don't know, because it just seems wild. Like, why a porn star? Like, I don't know what's going on in the world today. I don't understand if people don't understand that what you see on porn. If you've ever listened to porn stars talk and stuff, they talk about how uncomfortable, how crazy that some of that stuff is, and how you guys are seeing an edited version and you're not seeing. I mean, I was talking to a friend the other day. This was a while back, and I've talked about it on here before in other shows, but one of my friends was talking about this particular guy she was dating or with and everything. She said, "Girl, he make me feel like a porn star," meaning that she was doing things with him because of intimacy. I feel this guy in a way that I've never felt, and so I want to do more for him. It is, but the porn star doesn't do that really. What they do, they're when you talk to them, they tell a lot of them tell you it was very mechanical. I I don't know. Is that should that be your last wish? I mean, I can't dog. I mean, people have their last wish. You wait till they welcome to have whatever they have, but it just shows the state of what state we are in the world. You're dying of cancer, and you're like, I want to fuck a porn star. That's my make a wish. I guess people were saying he went out with a bang. Hilarious. I don't know. I just found it curious. I'm like, wow. I guess I don't know. No. I think I'd be in my. You be on your knees when you find cancer. I don't know. That means that I don't know. You just figure that's. I mean, some people just figure that's how life goes. But when I heard the C word, let me tell you something. I was like, Lord Jesus, still praying, okay? No, that's it to me. You just need. I make a wish is Lord keep me. And especially going to 4 because 4 is usually 9. You know what I'm saying? He passed away, right? I don't know. It's just crazy. I'm thinking of the world. The world is truly wow. Some people say the world is a ghetto. I say no, because the ghetto. I lived in the ghetto. I lived in the hood. We didn't. I mean, this wasn't even. We weren't even this crazy. Okay, so I thought that was interesting, y'all. That was just something I shared. It's just the state of the world that we're in today. I don't know. Okay. Neo. Neo was on. Neo claims the world is mad because he's in a polyamorous relationship. And, he reveals he's lost deals because of this, okay? Now, this is from Hollywood Unlocked, so let's share this tab. Oh, and today, everything that I'm using today, fair use. We use this for teaching purposes. It's alleged. Everything's allegedly. Even when I didn't say allegedly, it's allegedly. Okay, so yeah, but this is fair. We're gonna play this. What Neo is saying about his situation.
Fact that I'm in a polyamorous relationship.
They are.
There are people upset. Yeah, there's deals. There's deals that I missed out on because they're like, we don't know if we can get behind the whole polyamorous. It's like, okay, what? Like, again, it's almost like you can be a great person. You can show respect and appreciation, but the second you do something that they don't agree with, cancel.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And that just doesn't make any sense to me.
Me either. And honestly, for me, I think what you said about like in relationships, sex is this big of a part. Mm-hmm. I think if they could get past the sex part of those types of relationships,
you have to know what it is.
Totally.
You have to witness it, like to understand that it's because like people say the dumbest stuff, like it's degrading to who? I'm not lying to nobody. Everybody is here by choice. Like who's being degraded? Who's being disrespected? What are you talking about?
Yeah, right.
Anyway, however, the world is mad at the fact that I'm in a polyamorous relationship.
They are.
There are people upset. Yeah, there's deals.
Okay, Neo, that's not what's going on. I'm gonna be honest with you. My God, I hate to, because people say I'm mean sometimes, and I don't be mean to me mean. I just be trying to tell the truth in a nice way. My Virgo moon be trying to tell the truth in a nice way. Okay, so let me just say this, Neo. One of my favorite producers, songwriters. I liked your music early on. I love watching you perform. Every time I've seen you perform. But I have to admit, the last few years before the polyamorous thing, your music just wasn't hitting like it normally did. it started to sound different. There's nothing wrong with evolving as an artist, but it seemed like you weren't connected. The way we first meet Neo is a romantic, a babyface type. I'm so sick of love songs, so tired of, so done with wishing you, and what's that song? Because of You, that's my jam right there. Dun, dun, I mean, everything was so kind and sweet, and the brand, I think, about you, people saw you as a romantic character. And I think what happened is personal things start happening, personal life. I do believe that personal lives affect the artist. It can change the mood you're in. It can change your ideas. It can change the energy surrounding you, and it can change your connection and your flow to receiving some of the best music or things like that. I'm looking at an artist right now that I be hearing. They done put out like 3 or 4 songs. I ain't saying no name shit. Don't write me. Don't be sending me no passive aggressive fucking messages. But I will say this. There's a person right now that just put out songs and they just been hitting. I be like, the fuck? They just been hitting a while. They've been all right songs. And I personally believe because there is some sort of lack of connection going on. There's something that's not still about them. They're not getting the same thing they normally get. And I think it's because, but sometimes you need other people to come in, other producers and stuff to help you through those processes. But I also think there comes a time when there is too much going on in your life, when your life is so wild and so dysfunctional that you're no longer hearing from the divine or God. You know what I'm saying? And that all the noise is in the way. And it sounds like what you're creating is a bunch of thing. Every now and then a good one will come through, but for the most part, it's a lot of stuff going on. Neo, the problem you have is branding, and the music has just not been that great. Branding, because most women thought of you as the debonair, suave, nice guy. Now you're showing up at events with women, 5 and 6 women talking about they're your girlfriends. We don't gotta fucking know that. The public don't gotta fucking know that. You can say, oh, you know what you could do? You could do like every other playboy out here in the music business does. I'm dating. I'm seeing what tickles my fancy right now. I'm dating. I'm not within one particular person right now. To protect your brand, because now most women don't like polyamory. Specifically the women that you targeted. You targeted more of a college age. The women, that first album, those first couple albums, Champagne Life, everything's okay. Let's toast it up. Do. You know what I'm saying? That gears towards more college educated certain people, and they don't tend to like that kind of thing. They like, and then they don't believe you. They don't believe the energy from you, because you really don't look like a polyamorous guy. You look like a guy who got rich and had a whole bunch of choices. You don't look like a player. You look like a guy that got rich and had a whole bunch of choices and then really didn't know what to do, and just start falling into the noise of all that choice instead of the noise of understanding who you are. I don't believe you understand who you are at all. I don't believe, to me, polyamory is something that we were talking about today. And I was talking about a couple of days ago with a friend, not today, a couple of days ago, about polyamory. And I said, what do we say? Some people think polyamory is the answer. There are some people who have been polyamorous their whole life, but some people think polyamory is the answer for noise in your life. Like, you think that, hey, it's just because I'm not, I bet you're not satisfied now. with 5 different women or 6 different women. I bet eventually you become dissatisfied because why? That's just human. Right? And I think that a lot of times either we're afraid to confront the things we're dissatisfied with, or we're afraid of working on those things in ourselves so that we can be even if you break up in a relationship where you've had cheating or you've had this and that going on, it's different things where that you could be better for the next person in a committed relationship or something like that. A lot of people just don't want to do the work. That's hard work. Because a lot of people are not wanting to be polyamorous because they're so dissatisfied. And I need 5 or 6 people to just satisfy my needs. You know what I'm saying? I need one for this. It's just the kind of relationship I believe in. I don't believe that for a lot of people. I believe that you just didn't want to do the work. And the working of self on self and having to clear up the torture, the mental torture, the things that whatever is going on in your spirit, man. And you figured that, hey, okay, you know what? I done had 2 bad relationships go wrong because I've been cheating. I've been out here having sex with women. I had I had some other children outside of marriage. That doesn't sound like a polyamorous person. That sounds like an undisciplined mess. And now you're trying to hide your undisciplinedness under polyamory. So now I can have an excuse for being an undisciplined, fucked up person. You know what I'm saying? I can just have an excuse. But I don't believe you're a natural polyamorous. I just feel like a lot of people don't want to do the work. But what I will say is that you have fucked up your brand. And so most women that will come to see you and who really like you they don't romanticize you anymore. Women like to romanticize uh 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 uh, male singers. That's part of the allure. I saw I watched Ron Isley. Oh, that Ron Isley on stage. Ron still had it. Ron was up there, in between singing. All the women was up, them old women was up dancing and stuff like that, coming out there, they're flirting with him, even though his wife was on some shit. The women was flirting their ass off, okay? Listen, because Ron has that, you know what I'm saying? He comes off as a romantic, even though he got the player, but it's a different thing. He still always looks monogamous in the Playboy story. Even though he's Mr. Big, what the hell is going on between? He's vulnerable. I'm showing a woman playing, baby, let me explain, or Kelly, brought that out of him. Oh, it's about to be some shit. You know what I'm saying? It's like a drama, but he's still cool. Like he's still a romantic looking for love. Or who else? I always say, one of my dream things to see is on stage one day, because I just feel like it fits him. Because even though I don't think that's who he is, but I just think if the song would do him, it would be so, because Maxwell loves to do other people's songs on stage. I would love to see him do Gigolos Get Lonely too, because I feel like he could do that. Oh my God, he has that appeal, and he's a bachelor. Oh my God, and he just got that smothering, that sensual smothering sexuality that just can, it with a little hint, he could do it different. I love Morris Day and how Morris Day, that's his shit. And that's, Prince wrote it for him in his shit. But I think Maxwell can do it in a Princey sort of Maxwell way. It's so sensual and sexy. But it's about, what is Gigolos Get Lonely too? It's about a playboy falling in love, a guy who was out here, doing it for cash and other things, and he's like, guess you heard of my reputation. Oh, he's vulnerable. And women love that. They love vulnerability. I had my share of fooling around. Just like shit. You're like, oh, you better say that, Morris. Everybody needs stimulation. And then break down. Mine just happened to be all of the time. Oh, that boy. Everybody gets up on that. It's dun, 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 dun. I mean, and this is a player telling you, hey, I've had a lot. Everybody needs stimulation. I just happen to need it all the time. I do got these problems, but you, girl, for the first time out just once, like I want to make love without taking off my clothes. He just saying, for once, I'm ready to go. He's going past playerism and say, and women like that contrary to rumor. When you being gigolos get lonely. I'm past it. I don't want this no more. All of my lovers need stimulation. And he's like, they might need stimulation, but I need you. Now I need something different because you deeper. That's what women like. They love the vulnerability. That's the only kind of playerism they like. Or if it's somebody singing to the understanding of what Joe, like Joe sung. All the things your man won't do. Listen here. Women act, that song about cheating. But women like it because Joe sings it in such a way, like he's a romantic. Like pearls. I take a string of pearls right in your hand. Make love on the beach at Jet Black Sand. You like, what? Outside in the rain. You like, oh my God. He's talking to a woman like, hey, you ain't seen it, but I can get. He been showing you minimal. He's a minimalist. Let me show you what I can do. That's a rotten ass song, but it is what it is. And I feel like, Neo, you've lost that. You've lost the essence of delivery because you've let too many people see your private life. Your private life has been such a mess that it's spilled out for public knowledge. Excuse me, I'm drinking. Maybe he needs a stronger NDA because I know some motherfuckers that are playboys right now, and I done heard so many stories about people who are players. My grandpa wants to call right now while I'm on the air. Hold on, let me tell him. Papa, I'll call you back. I'm on the radio. Okay, I'll call you right back. That's grandma's thing. I'll call you right back in just a minute. I'm a break. Okay, bye. Okay, let me see what he wants. We're gonna take a quick break. And we'll get back to Neo after this. Y'all gotta see it. Y'all gotta hear it. He said, but who's Mizuma Bank? You don't know who his banks are. My Lord. Help me, Jesus. Okay, let me see what he needs. Okay, I'll be right back after this. After this, we're gonna take a little quick break and we'll come back here. I'll be right back and put the be right back sound up. Let y'all listen to some electro music and we'll be back in a moment. Okay. Okay, you guys, I am back. You know what? Let me tell you. Okay, this is a day in the life. All right, my life be wilding. Okay. All right, so you guys, I am back on the Carlotta Chat with show. Okay, so we were talking about Neo. I said that I thought Neo, the situation with Neo is simple. Neo has ruined his brand. Showing all 5 or 6 of them women has not made you look like the romantic guy. It's not made you, you haven't even been able to properly sell playerism because you just didn't do it. You haven't done a good job of it. You were too outlandish with these girls. You come out there and you showing them they don't have quite the look. And then I don't think you understood how much your brand was ruined from the first girl. The first woman you had 2 kids with and the stories that she told. Listen, I hate NDAs. I'm gonna tell you the fucking truth. I don't like nobody not being able to tell their story. Okay, if you know you fucked up with somebody, you fucked up with them. That's how I feel. You know what I'm saying? You just say, "Hey, it wasn't a good relationship. I didn't do right." You know, that's what you know. I know Neo, you out here trying to say that now. You out here saying, "Hey, I'm trying to be honest about my lifestyle," even though I don't believe that. But I think you just saying, "Hey, I'm trying to just not. This is how I'm trying to solve it." But look at what that's done to Nick Cannon. Okay, and I'll tell you, I mean, it's ruined. It's hurt Nick so bad. Nick has learned how to work around it because Nick is really naturally uh, what I call a guy with charisma. You know what I'm saying? But it hurt Nick so much, and I can tell Nick is kind of like looking at like, what did I do? Like, I think he's grateful for his children, but I think it's like the price I paid for not thinking about certain things, for not being reflective of certain things, you know, and stuff like that. And the thing is you gotta, I know y'all be trying to tell people, but y'all gotta keep it quiet. Look at some of these people out here that got these NDAs. I saw one girl online was scared to even say the man's name, she was going with a celebrity, and she was like, is that clear? I was like, the fuck? Did you look like, what you mean you got to clear? You got to clear to say his name. You was dating him. What kind of shit they start having you sign? It must be on block. Like, I just think that is like, what kind of person are you about to be? First of all, that's just really what I say. I understand celebrity branding is so fragile, and he's right. You get canceled for anything in any 5 seconds, which I don't like, because humans don't tend to see themselves in other people. And we talk about celebrity stuff all the time, right? And I don't think anybody should be without a second chance. That's just my personal opinion. But I think that's what's happened with you, Neo. I think that you have lost the romantic, Fred Astaire, debonair kind of idea you had when you came out. The guy that you give off on stage. I think that's lost. I think women are now looking at you with like, rolling their eyes. From the first girl to the second wife to the baby mama that was the side piece allegedly, all talking, all not having good things to say. And I think you don't see how that behavior or whatever you allegedly did to them affected your brand as that guy that they tried to sell you as. That's why a lot of these mofos got good ass NDAs, because they are not what they appear to be. They come up on stage and they selling you, love. Oh yeah, I'm the sweetest guy ever. Yes, baby, I just want to get to know you. And really, they be hell on wheels. They be bad. I heard one story about this dude. Like, let me tell you something. I done heard so many celebrity stories. It ain't a celebrity. I ain't heard no story about you. I heard one story about this one celebrity. I mean, that was like, I told this before on here about they had so many girls. They was racking them down. They had them on different floors because they didn't want to tell the girls the floor. They didn't want the girls to know the floor they was in, right? So they remove this. So what they did was so they could have sex with a variety of different women who they had all on this situation. They had on this women they had in these is a hotel hotel motel house. They kept on different floors. So none of the chicks got to see the real horrible. These are horrible people. But you know, I'm not saying they're horrible people. No, I shouldn't say that. They just enjoy it, I guess, the fruits of their labor. They got nothing to do. That's why I always get mad. I'd be like, you should be working, you should be having more to do. But because they don't have more to do, you know, uh they be out here doing the most random stuff. And so that's why they have women sign NDAs. Anytime, my personal opinion is when a man has a real thick NDA, girls, let me tell you this, okay? Sidebar, and this ain't got nothing to do with Neo. Neo's trying to be honest out here in these streets. I respect the Neo, even though I don't like it. I respect it, even though I don't believe you either. I believe you need severe therapy and counseling, but I digress. And I think you've ruined a beautiful brand. And I really hope you get back to being the musical genius that you are and you clear the noise. But I will say this. Anytime you see a man and they got all kind of like NDA for the sexual act, NDA for that, so you should be like, you know what I'm saying? Watch, be careful before you sign it. I'm just saying because that means they probably extra horrible and they don't want nobody to know they horrible. Like they extra horrible. I heard a story too about somebody one time being so messed up, like so high and drunk that they didn't remember the partnerships. So the management would have them sign NDAs. The management would have the women sign NDAs. They'd be like, I had sex with you? What? Oh my Lord. Listen, that's why I say, girls, okay, be careful what you wish for, all right? But Neo, your NDA should have been tighter. It wasn't. But no, wait, let me just say this. Nah, I'm gonna say this, Neo. Nope. I ain't gonna do that to you. Neo, you probably one of the most honest R&B stars out here, to be honest. I'm gonna be honest. You a dude that really has not, you know, do I think you still dysfunctional? Yes. What I would say for you is to tap into that. Like tap into not being dysfunctional, not be dysfunctional, but tap into the fact that you may not really know if polyamory's right. You just don't know. You know something's unfulfilled within you. You know, because that's what I really think's going on. If you could tap into the true essence of why you in those relationships and then bring it out in your music and songs, not try to play it up and not trying to be, I got my girl one tonight and I'm doing this with girl two. You try to do the Jay-Z, girls, I do. Don't do that shit, okay? Jay-Z was good at it, but you know, but I don't believe, Neo, you're a flippant guy at all. I think that your music is I think a lot of the songs that you have written, even from a woman's point of view, when I think about to the left, everything you own in the box to the left. I mean, that has to come from a sensitive heart, like to write for a woman that way. Even if you've become something else in the music business, I think that's ruining your creativity and your ability to understand love and all the intricate things it is. And I think you have to tap into that not being clear, not being sure. You can't get up here. The problem is you're selling polyamory office. Hey, this is what it is. I'm trying to be honest with y'all. And I think you think that. But I don't think you tapped into what's really you. And I think that you thought showing these women and all this stuff was going to make it right for you. And to that, I would say you messed up a little bit, but I also can appreciate this sense of honesty about you, because the thing is, you need to be honest in that you don't know if it's right or not. I don't really think you know. And I think that's where the music is. I think that's where the greatness of you will be back at. Is that I've come through these relationships. I've come through women I thought I loved. I thought I wanted to be married. There's something. It's like I heard Mario talking. Even though, Mario, going back to Mario, but this is just life. This is humanity, okay? But Mario, when he was on what show was that? Was it my girl? What's her name? Her and her husband. I forget her name. Brody. Shit, I forget their name. Shane. Okay. When I saw him on, I forget Lover's podcast, I forget which Lover and Friends podcast, and he was talking and he was so open with her. I felt that was an honest look at a guy who was trying to understand. I understand where my need for attention, my need for multiple relationships, my need for this and that came from, and I'm trying to heal that. Even the other guy that came on there, I forget the other guy. He's kind of an eclectic artist. I forget his name. And he did he talked about the life of a fuck boy on their show. But I felt he was the most honest. And Neo, you can learn from them. It was just a moment of honesty. It wasn't a moment of just y'all getting mad about me showing these 5 girls. No, it's because that's not who people see you as. And they feel like it's fake. They don't really buy it. And they think it's disgusting because you're trying to sell it off, even if it might be real to you. But I think what you're not showing is the confusion. You didn't have to bring those girls. Those girls look like a trick. That looked like all you had to do was say you dating. That's what I was just saying. That's what all these other playboys do out in these streets. I'm dating. I'm just dating. That's all you had to say, Neil. You a single man. All you had to do is say you dating. Okay, you didn't have to bring them out. I think bringing them girls out was a huge mistake. And I think also, and then you can bring them out at various events. Say, oh yes, I'm dating right now. I wouldn't. I'd probably take about 2 or 3 because of the business you in, and you are the romantic guy, and you can always keep it. You can be the perpetual bachelor. You know what I'm saying? Women love that. That's Maxwell. That's what I think Maxwell is. I really don't. No. I think part of the sale of Maxwell and allure of Maxwell is, yes, Maxwell is an awesome singer, awesome music, awesome songwriter, awesome. But it's also, you got to do that little percentage. He's a good looking guy and he's single. Women love that shit, okay? Even if he gets married, women are still love it. Perpetual single. I mean, he'll feel like it. He'll feel like the perpetual back. I just feel like you have to be able to know that you're partly part of a fantasy going on, okay? So I just feel like you haven't done a good job of selling that fantasy guy to women, and part of your music is being able to do that. And you haven't even been vulnerable in selling off polyamory. Like I said, there have been great artists who have learned to sell off polyamory. Like I said, Gigolos Get Lonely too. It's about shit. A playboy finding love. Okay, you are, or even Donnell Jones. Oh my God, it's one of the most, it's like one of the most fucked up songs ever. If you've been on the other end of that kind of thing, if you as a woman, if you've been on the other end of our man, the song when they just when he says, I say when you love someone, you just don't treat them bad. Oh, how I want to leave. Now she's crying her heart to me. How could you let this be? I just need time to see where I want to be, he's like, he's confused because he got all these fucking options. He's like, I love you, but damn, there's a lot of coochie out here. That's really what that song's saying. I love you, but it's so much coochie out here. I need some time. And when you hear it, it's like, but he sees it in such a way. They say when you love someone, you just don't treat them bad. Oh, how I want to leave. I mean, how I want to leave now that she's crying her heart to me. How could you let this be? I just need time to see where I want to be. You know, it's like, oh my God, the torture of I'm in love with you, but the coochie got me hooked. I want these other coochies out here calling me. Coochie, come here. You know what I'm saying? Kitty cats is calling, okay? Meow. I'm crazy. What is wrong with me? Okay, but that's what's really happening. Okay, so I think that Neo, you have to find a way to rebrand yourself in that way. You have to find a way to resell the story. And you gotta understand that women, you are part of the fantasy. I don't know. I hope you can get that back. Wait a minute, guys. Hold on. Let me check something. Yeah, I mean, you really do. You have to learn that again. And I think that's hard for him. Okay. I think it's going to be hard because you've brought this to the forefront. And maybe, I don't know. I don't say lie, but maybe, you say, hey, I'm out here learning to date again. You start thinking about other things and talking about the ideas of, well, right now I haven't found what this is. I'm trying to figure out what it is I need or something like that. I'm in therapy or some shit. You know what I'm saying? Or you can, there are some people who, it's hard for singers. You know what I'm saying? It's hard for male singers. Okay. It's really hard in that area. You have to be very, because any little thing females find out, if females find out certain things about you, they can, it could change your whole brand. I mean, you play the mysterious guy. You know what I'm saying? Like Maxwell, play mysterious. I mean, shit. I don't know, because in my opinion, he's very mysterious. But I also think mysterious, sometimes too mysterious, means you really like hell on wheels, and you got it on lockdown, so don't nobody know it. That's what I be thinking. I'm not saying that's Maxwell, but that's what I be thinking about you. I be like, why the hell don't nobody know what this is? But people think that about me. I have family and stuff that be like, why I don't never see, why you don't do this? I be like, I am not mysterious. You can hear my show because I'm a Scorpio. They think I'm always being sneaky. It's wild. It's crazy. I be like, what am I sneaky about? I was like, it's because I want you to know my business. Don't be never sneaky. So that could be going on too. But I think that's just Neo has told too much. And I understand why he's done that. I think he thinks he's a learning thing, but he's fucking up his brand. Okay. So that's what I'll say on that. Okay. Just my personal opinion. All right. And especially when you start off the way he started off. All right. So moving on to the next thing here, what we're going to talk about. Hey, Victoria Monet says, dating women has been worse than dating men. Wow, a lot of women say this, okay? So let's listen to Victoria talk about dating women, okay? Let's see. And I know, I've always said Victoria Monet is one of my girl crushes. Her and Janet and Rihanna. That's it. There's no other girl crushes. Matter of fact, but that doesn't mean but I don't. It's weird. I have girl if it's from an if I was gay standpoint, but I'm not gay. But if I was, or if I was bisexual, these would be my types. I just don't see the point in liking the ones that look more masculine. I'd be like, I don't understand what women. If you like women, why would you like men? Hey, shit, ain't my business. Okay? That's just me, okay? If I was gay, I'd be a lipstick lesbian. Is that what y'all call it? Okay. If I was, all right. But yeah, but I love her. I think she's so beautiful. I love her energy. I think she is. I've always loved all her interviews. I think she's such a great songwriter and stuff like that. But it's very interesting that she's saying this about women. So let's sit and listen, okay? But I think I know why she's saying this.
This is not ever something I've ever explored, but I would always imagine that girls would be easier to manage.
Worse.
Really?
My experience has been they're a little bit worse. Yeah.
How so? Maybe just bad picking.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe it's that. But also, like, girls, they don't really approach me seriously. They approach me like, oh, like sensually. And I'm like, well, I would want it to be something more serious.
Mm-hmm.
And I haven't really gotten that approach from many women. They're just like, oh, she's beautiful, she's attractive, or like talking about my body and stuff. So
yeah, it's like a sexual
thing. Yeah. So maybe they don't take me seriously.
Okay, I want to stop right here before I forget this point. It's interesting that she says that women approach her in the exact way that men have been given off to known to approach women. Victoria, I'm going to say this. I bet everybody approaches you that way, including the men. And let me explain why. You are sensual. Like people who are not sensual, what I started to understand about myself, I had to start understanding the power of my energy. And this wasn't no brag. This isn't no thinking I'm all that and thinking I'm shit or something like that. But I started to realize in my 40s, like, wow, okay, wait a minute. There's a little power I have. I'm a sensual person, but I have this little innocent girl, but I can be very dark and sexy too. And so I understand the power of that. And I understand that sometimes that energy can draw in people to see the wrong things about me. You know what I'm saying? They can see some points they can see the innocent girl, and some points, and it confuses people. That was always the complaint for me when I was dating in the streets. People would always be like, she's detached and I don't know who she is. She's sick. But it's because there is a sensual vibe. Okay. So it's okay. So I understand that people are going to feel that at first. I think Victoria Monet has to know that about her. She is very sensual. Her music is sensual and sexy. I mean, you are the chick that sings F-U-C-K. Okay. You the girl who sings Dive. I want to know what your head game like. Do you know what you're doing? It's your neck game type. Listen, listen. Girl, quit playing out here. Have a long conversation with me. I talk back, baby. We can get deep. Listen, okay, you are that girl. You're saying there's deepness, but people don't understand there's a deepness to that sensuality. Okay, she just don't give it out to anybody, probably, right? I don't know what her sign is, but she gives me Taurus. Is she Taurus? I'm gonna have to see. She gives me Taurus. She's the girl that sing Motherfucking Moment. Like, I got the feeling that you brought me to you. Like, what? That's all right. Listen here. I got the feeling that you brought me to you, and this is, hey, let me take away your pain, all your emotions, landed like a plane on my back. If you can't hold it, okay, yes, they're approaching you sexually. Touch me, feel me. Yes, I believe probably women approach you the same way men do. And I think that's because that's a natural sensual vibe. But I think why you say women are more difficult is because the expectation is there for men to approach you like that. But you don't expect women to be that way also. Oh, let me tell you, men, here's the great secret. I actually think women, with conversations that I've had with my girlfriends who are bi and women are more and straight, women are way more sexual than men in some ways. Okay. Even though it's harder to get women to do things, women are much more sensual, sexual. I actually believe women are so layered as women men want to always question polyamory in themselves because they just don't think, they're just sexually like to move. But women really, I would say, really should question, monogamy. Men love to question monogamy because they think they just run around, want to jump, because they're sexually driven to like to do. But women don't move like that. Women are sexually driven. I question monogamy sometimes with women if men can question that for themselves, because women are so much layered that they need so many different things from so many different ways. That can one guy actually do that? I mean, one girl can give you coochie a lot of ways and everything like that. You know what I'm saying? And you can go out here and get a bunch of coochie, but I don't know if it's a mind thing that goes on with me. Okay, or a mind connection. It's deep, but I have to explain that in a whole nother show. But I think what Victoria is experiencing, I bet she experiences it from both, because she is a naturally sensual, sexual, sexy girl. Okay. But I bet she just expects more from women. You don't expect women to be sexual with you. You don't expect women to want certain things. That's why I always tell people, I always laugh. I say certain men, I said, because women, you'll find out, like, people will find out, like, wow, that woman, she's really wild or whatever. But certain men bring out certain things in certain women, I think, sometimes. Or sometimes a man has unlocked the chamber and a woman's ran off and let loose. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's just, sensual and sexy. I mean, I had a friend of mine, so we was talking about it. She said she felt like porn star, but she told me that with this person that she's with, you can see her whole vibe has changed. She's much more in touch with her sexuality, much more grounded. I said, okay, bitch, I can tell it's good. I mean, you can because there is something that's happening with her that is very powerful, and it is on, and I think it has layers of sexuality to it, but I also think it's deeper. So I get with Victoria Monet. I think a lot of women probably are approaching you that way, and men are approaching you that way too. I think you're not noticing it with men. Because men, if you give that sexual vibe that you get off, you give off, you can't tell me men ain't approaching you in that way. So I just think you have more expectation from women to not be that way. Okay, so let's finish listening to her.
But when I think of my next relationship, I've been in a space where I want, because I'm feeling so feminine, like I want the opposite energy, and I'm feeling like a masculine, or maybe it's a masculine woman.
Yeah.
I'm not sure. I've never really tried that. The women that I've dated are like, have been like
sexy too.
Yeah, a little bit femme, a little bit more like in the middle, or more femme than masculine. But I also think about like children and just like be thrown against the wall. So I'm so weak, I'm feminine, and like just this masculine figure. So in my head, I think it might be a guy.
Yeah, that's where you're at right now.
Right now,
I would think because you.
This is Bilal part 4. Okay, so I thought that's from Tasha K's site, but I thought listen, I thought that that was interesting that she says because she feels more feminine. She's like, oh, that is too. That's certain energies. Men and different men can have those different energies. Okay, it's just not just women. Okay, so she's saying also she wants more children probably, and so she's kind of telling y'all that she's trying to find some penis out in these streets. Okay, but I found it interesting that she said masculine, that because she's feeling in more of a feminine energy. She wants more of that masculine thing. Very interesting. Okay. I love Victoria. And let me tell you what I love about Victoria, that she's so honest, open and honest about herself. Very interesting. Just very open. I like that about her. And I think she's one of the greatest songwriters out here. I mean, but I do think that she is probably seeing it as being more difficult with the women women are difficult. Women are layered. They're various things, you know, but I think you expect more from women too. You don't expect women to just see you sexually. But let me tell you something. When you give off a ask any man who has sexual energy about how women approach them. Any rocks, look at women at rock concerts. Oh my God, that's my favorite. Okay, look, I look because I observe. I sit in the crowd and I be observing. Like you see women at Chris Brown, these motherfuckers got whole signs talking about Chris can meet me after the stage. Like, because what he does is sexy, okay, on stage. What he do, listen, that's an aphrodisiac. Okay, it's, you know. And so he up there, you know, they got signs up there, call me and all kind of stuff. Shit, don't act like certain things bring women, the beast out of women, okay? Women are more sexual than they give off. Okay. Wow. Who's a good, like I said, when I was at even like old Ron Isley, 80 some years old, shit, them women's up there singing to him. It's like, listen, okay, it don't, because what he's doing on stage is very sexy, even at 80 something. Smokey Robinson getting out here pumping the air, you know, you like, what? It still gives the I mean, there is because there has to be some forms of sensuality from certain types that do that. They sell off the romanticism thing. Let me see. Let me think of someone else. Lenny Kravitz. When I go see Lenny Kravitz, bitch. Listen, ain't nothing be sexy for. It don't really be. It's really a rocker environment, but Lenny just brings sexy to rock and roll. I just be like, listen here, okay. If Lenny be saying, I want to get away, I be like, yeah, I do too, Lenny. I want to get away. I mean, he's just fine. He fly like he's sexy like that. Okay. He just has this dark, it just take me a I'll be like, what? I was like, hey, okay, I get it. I get it. My astrologist said, you just like Geminis. I was like, maybe. Don't tell anyone. All my favorite singers are Gemini. Like they're Gemini. Well, Luther wasn't, but Luther wasn't that. I wasn't feeling that way about Luther. You know what I'm saying? I don't squash in my seat. You know, with like, I love me some Luther, but that was my favorite singer ever. But no, I don't. You know, I wasn't. You know, and when Lenny singing, I'm like, Fanny, give me some fan. Even though it's the most unromantic, loud music ever. Now he does have parts in the concert where he's very romantic, and I'm like, you know, he sings the little slow songs, but it's still not romantic. But he brings something so sexy to it, like you like, oh wow, like you're like, yeah, okay, okay. And then Maxwell, okay, Maxwell is a different for me. Okay, Maxwell is. There's various forms of Maxwell, I say, if you're a Maxwell fan, okay? I have to divide him up. He's like, he shows that he's a Gemini in certain functions. Like, you know, like with him, I see there's Urban Hang Sweet Maxwell. Urban Hang Sweet Maxwell to, what is it? Shit. Maxwell Uncut. Okay, to the Uncut, Unplugged, or whatever. Okay, that's a different guy. I put him over here. You got a more talkative, sensual, seem like very smart, still struggling with, am I really this sexy or am I a nerd? Okay. Then there is the now guy, the now Maxwell era. And I don't know if I can, because I have to place Embria in the Unplugged era, because it's that guy still struggling with sensuality and nerdism. I still think that happens, but it in space is, you know, spaces. Then he found out, like, the women probably let him know, like, bitch, it ain't nothing nerdy about it, okay? All right, because I think he didn't know. I feel like that. I feel like I used to have this friend in college who used to never know how fine he was. I used to say, boy, when you find out how fine you were, you're going to be a problem. I used to tell him that all the time. He's like, what? I said, man, you don't know. And he just didn't. He had no clue till he got to college. And I remember he called me up on the phone. He said, yo. I was like, what? He said, yo, we going out to lunch. We going out when I get home. I said, yeah, we went out to lunch. We got home. He was like, yeah, these girls is acting crazy. I said, what happened? He said, do you know a girl just showed up in my room naked? I was like, what? He was like, I said, I told you. I said, they telling you when y'all see more confidence, you start to believe. I said, did you sleep with her? He said, almost. But it was so funny. But he did not know for a long time. And then, like I remember, we all went out one night. We all met up at a club one night, and he comes in the club because I hadn't seen him in like probably about a year or so. He come in and he had this long trench coat on, and he's like kind of had a swag. So I said, look, that bitch, you don't. He started laughing, everything, so but it was much more confidence, everything. And I was like, okay, somebody told you, but it's still there. We're like, when he talks to me, because I'm his friend. So when we talk, he still gives you I still see the nerd there. But I also see like, okay, like you are seeing it. I told you you gonna find out how fine you are one day. They're gonna let you know. You don't know it. Okay. That's Maxwell. Maxwell did not know. Maxwell had no clue I think Maxwell probably was in high school, so had no clue how cute he was or how fine he was. Just had no clue. Probably had no swag. Didn't know how to play it. It didn't, the girls probably ignored him because he probably did. Maybe there's a few who used to pick, because I was in even though I was popular in high school, I would pick out I didn't like what everybody, I had the popular women, but I used my real usual type was really real different, unique. I didn't really like, what I'm saying? That's why I would be friends with, I'd hang with more. I kind of secretly had liked that person more, stuff like that. Because I like people who weren't afraid to be themselves. And I like uniqueness. I like that. I'm Aquarius 7th house. Okay, shit. So I feel like that about him. There is that guy that always is there, that haunting of, I don't know that I'm that cute, but yeah, I do. All right. So I think that in that era, he didn't know, but was finding out. Then you come up to the now era, he's found out, but he tries to play it like he doesn't know. Like I remember I went to a Now concert, and I was sitting there, and I remember everybody was looking at him. We were in the first row when he was like first, when he did when he did the Now tour with Alicia Keys. And I remember all the women were just sitting in the front row. Every last one of them were looking at that man like he was a chocolate chip cookie, okay? And I don't know what they came out. I always remember they lit some candles. Me and my friend was like, bitch, they done lit some, what is they done put in that candles? Is it an aphrodisiac? Because we all feeling strange. I mean, he wasn't doing that. He was acting really like a little kind of goofy, kind of, right? But it was still very sexy and sensual. And he had a hairnet on his head because I was pissed. I was like, take that net off your head. Right? But then he says, because he's nervous, so he says something really weird. And everybody's like, oh, wow. I think he's talking about Kansas City. I think he said, I can live here. It's like, really? We can't. And we live here. But it was fun. But I think it was weird. I placed him in that segment. There's the guy who's acting like he doesn't know he's sexy, but really doesn't know. Okay, so that's the Now era for me. Okay, when you go see him. Okay, then there is the guy there's the short hair guy. Okay, the short hair guy who has to sell it off because he's not confident with the short hair. Like but nobody can see that looking at him. Okay. This is my theory. This is my theory. I think the hair was synonymous with him. And so he comes into the short hair and you get a much more connection to the sensuality. Oh my God. The short hair one is out of control. The short hair Maxwell, like, bitch. The what is it, Maxwell? What is it? What, the Post Now? Post Now. What is it? Shit. Black Summer's albums trio, or well, we ain't got the third one. We don't know when that's gonna happen. But the first, I mean, this is the short hair era. We don't know what the hell is. I mean, I think that this guy is coming like to say, hey, okay, I really got to sell it to him. I really got to look like I believe it now because I don't have my hair to fall back on. So I got to sell it. And this motherfucker is selling it. Okay, y'all look at them short hair ones. Okay, the short hair ones. Here's one. That's when the girls, I felt like it was more I mean, I felt it was penny throwing back in the nowadays, but it was more panty throwing in the short hair guys because I feel like the short hair guy was selling sensuality way more. Like the Afro guy knows he's sensual and sexy and everything and unique and different, but he feels attached to that hair. He feels like the girls just really like the hair. So he doesn't feel like he has to do it as much. Short hair guy, he feels like he has I feel like there's the era where I feel like I gotta sell my sensual, sexy, you know what I'm saying? So there is that era of and it's very emotional era to me too, because those are both Cancer albums, aren't they? I think so. It's a very emotional album. Those are very emotional. Pretty Wings, you know what I'm saying? It's very emotional. Lake by the ocean. Perhaps this is the hottest. It's very, yeah. So you're getting very sensual, sexy, and might add, he might have been in a relationship or two that made him feel that way. Where you're getting a lot of like energy that's sexy and so it's that's fire. That era is very sexually charged. Okay. Like I feel like he's a fire sign. I feel like we got his astrology wrong. I feel like he's a fire sign ascendant or somewhere. He's got a fire sign, a major prominent fire sign somewhere that we don't know about. But then there's the now, Maxwell. Back to the Afro. He hasn't done the night things, but we're back to the Afro. So he doesn't sell it as much. He doesn't come out there and he's not, like he, when that Mary J. Blige tour, I was like, what? I mean, I remember I was looking at my phone because I think somebody was texting me and I looked up and I mean, then all of a sudden Maxwell was just like rolling in front of me. I was like, what? I mean, like very sexually sensual. I was like, with sunglasses, I was like, and me and my friend, we both our hands went to like, wow. I think he felt like he had to sell it more. And I think there may have been like I said, I don't know what's going on in the background. Maybe there's a relationship or something there making you feel that. But men don't usually get it like that. But him, because he's got that extra femininity in him, yes. So then you have the next era. Then you have the era of, like I said, you got the Afro guy back. So you're getting back the first era guy. Kind of goofy, but still sensual. Think you all like the hair. But it's really not the hair. It's really you, like your energy. It's really, you're a very sensual person. So women are attracted to sensuality and sexuality and high energy. That's what he really is at the core. But, and Gemini is a sign of, I always say, sexuality. Yeah, I know they say Scorpio is. We're the sign of sex, definitely, but not like Gemini. Gemini can go in and out of like a masculine, feminine thing they have, which makes him really very sexy. Like Prince was so sexy because he had that Scorpio ascendant. That's why men and women could find Prince irresistible. I mean, like in the way they look like Prince Jamie Foxx. You look in his eyes and blah, blah, blah. Well, Geminis just have that. Geminis have this thing that can be. They don't mean they're bisexual, but it can be very bisexual-like. It can be they can go in and out of different things when they really are in touch. And Maxwell, and not in a way like, you don't see that in Kanye, okay? But you do see it in Lenny Kravitz and Maxwell, because I think those are two men who are very comfortable with femininity. Okay, so that's a difference. So you get to see those play out in the music and the stage and the sound and stuff like that. So that's what. So now this era, going back to Maxwell, this era of Maxwell is very light. Back to the first era, because he has the Afro again. I think the Afro, he feels like, and he's wearing braids and stuff like that. And I think he feels like, okay, the braids give the hair, they like the hair, but you're wrong. I think you don't. I think you, it's interesting to me. I like the hair. Don't get me wrong, but I think that that you get these completely different. You get all these eras, but the one thing that I consistently see, except for that era, the short hair era, I think he tries to keep the goofy guy down. He tries but I do feel like the fun, goofy, unique character is always there, and I think that's what's sexy. I think for most people, but I think but there is a centrality that follows somebody like him and Lenny Kravitz. Like when I first met him, I walked in the room, I was like, damn. Because you could feel that sensuality hit you at the door. I was like, my God, what? That's some strong energy. Like fuck. Like I feel your energy. I'm out here and looking right across at you, and I can feel it. Like that is crazy. That's powerful. And I probably doesn't use it at its full capacity, really. If he did, y'all probably be going crazy. Okay. So I think that's what I think I love about those two singers, that they bring to when they come to the stage, they have that sense of sensuality. Janet has it too. She has a little bit of tomboy, sexy girl. Victoria has a lot of that of Janet, but Victoria to me is more sexy than Janet in terms of more feminine. Sorry, not more sexy, but more feminine than Janet. Janet always had this little tomboy hiding underneath all the femininity. It's like the tomboy is not absent of the femininity. Even when she's dressing really sexy, like even when she's doing one of my favorite videos, anytime, any place, bitch. Okay, then but she's not coming off as very like overly feminine. It's like that femininity with that slight bit of masculinity underneath. I don't want to, but it's still very feminine, but it's strong femininity. Okay. Victoria gives me a goddess in feminine power always. Like she never, you might see a little bit of tomboy, but not much. She gives me complete femininity. All her songs is very feminine about where Janet is like, I am power femininity. Victoria is, okay, how can I say this? Janet has the masculine thing. It keeps it balances, but Victoria gives me goddess femininity, complete goddess femininity, meaning that I control everything through femininity. And my son's, all her music is very sensual and sexy, and even though it's very Janet-like, she has a lot she borrows from Janet, but it gives me a more femininity vibe than Janet does. All Janet songs to me have that little hit of tomboy in it. It's just a little bit of hit of toughness, like. But Victoria is more like, let me wrap you up in all of this femininity I'm about to do. Let me, like, I'm going to take down your defenses through just the power of my femininity. So that's what she gives me in all her songs. Okay. So artists do sell different things at different times, in my point of view. They sell different things to you. They sell different vibes. But to me, even Sade, let's talk about Sade before I say, I don't know how I got on this topic. I'll probably listen back and be like, shit, how the fuck did you get there? Okay. But Sade, oh my God. I don't know if there is a sexier vibe on the stage that is so subtle. Like, when I first saw Sade, I was like, bitch. I mean, everything was movement. No, it was just everything. Methodical. It's almost like snake-like. Ooh, yeah, that's what it is. It's snake-like. It's very, I'm crawling up your arm, but I don't know. You don't know it's danger waiting. Sade is so sexy. There is that in that way, mysterious, mystique. I call her Maxwell's counterpart in that way. Mystique, sexy, but Maxwell doesn't give me snake. Sade gives me snake. Like there's snake energies here. And that energy remains even when you're talking to her. I think she keeps it like has a certain type of voice. Even when she's laughing, everything is very seducing. It's snake. Man, bitch. That bitch got it. Okay, that bitch got it. Shit. I always think of that video. What is it? A cry with her hair? She waking up in that hair and the thing. I said she's still looking like a snake, like a sexy snake. So that's what she sells. Y'all like being seduced. Sade is a snake. She's coming out there like snake, like she's moving like a little. It's very powerful. I will say that. So I think that that different artists have different energies that they can connect with, and they can sell those vibes like nothing else. Okay. All right. So moving on to
Really?
the next thing. I'm laughing because Drewski just did a skit about all British actors taking black American. It's hilarious. I gotta watch it. I ain't gonna play it, but y'all need to watch it. It's funny, okay? Okay. I had to laugh about Rick Ross talking about dating women who are doctors and lawyers and stuff. How a man can make you feel so good, want to quit your job. But I had to laugh because somebody in the comments said, I got to say what somebody said in the comments, said, somebody said if I was a manager at Walmart or something, yeah, but if I'm a surgeon, absolutely not. Well, he said, she said, what did she say? What did she say? Oh, it was so funny. I forget what somebody said, but they said, keep your job, sis. They said, take it for FMLA, but keep your job, sis. Talking about he ain't been, look stable that much. She said, so don't give him your job. Keep your, she said, in the comments talking about, take it for FMLA. It was hilarious. Okay. I wish I could find a comment where there's a lot of comments and posts this there, but it was hilarious. Okay. I'm trying to put it over here. Okay. Let me put it up so you guys can see.
The discussion is basically a woman, and you see, as a wealthy man, as a rich nigga, we have to meet somewhere on even ground, because if you got it, ladies, if you got your career and all that, I'm happy for you, right? And that's cool. But I'm gonna need you in the most inconvenient times in your life. And when you tell me, baby, I'm a nurse, I'm a doctor, I'm a surgeon, I got a surgery tomorrow, I'm attaching the nigga kneecap back. Man, fuck that kneecap. I need you right now. I need you tonight. I'm on that 7th shot of motherfucking McQueen in the Violet Fall. Fuck that surgery. Nigga could wait. You sleep anyway. I'm sitting here talking to my homie, and the discussion is basically a woman, and you see, as a wealthy man, as a rich, so I think what it is, of course, ladies, get your education and have your career and all that shit, just to show that you capable. When you get with a rich nigga, fuck that shit. That shit over with. Rich nigga gonna make you quit. I'm the career. Depend on me. Yeah. I was cool what you was doing though. I was highly impressed, but fuck that shit. We got a flight early in the morning. I need you to come with me. Yeah. Call whoever you gotta call. Let them know you can't make it. You got COVID. Tell them. And ladies, when you make it happen, that's unacceptable. You can make it happen, and you gonna make it happen. I know you will. You was born for this. I'm happy for you. I'm happy for you. You did it. Make it happen.
Okay. Oh God, there's so much I want to say because I have said this on my show that if you are involved with a wealthy man, a lot of times they want you to come with them on trips and different things like that and different things. And so sometimes you a lot of women can't have jobs or something like that if your business is him. Okay. It depends on what kind of career you're in. I really don't think a surgeon is going to quit her job. I don't really think an actress is going to quit her job. She might take more time off. The surgeon might take more time off, but I don't think they're going to quit their job. These are jobs of people. Like, I mean, I'm with the girl, like being a manager at Walmart, shit. I might, hell yeah. But Rick Ross, though, he changed women so much. Keep your job, girl. Like somebody said, take your FMLA, but keep your job. Jeff Bezos, a surgeon might quit for because do you understand? Like I was looking at the whole Met Gala shit and everything that was going on, but what you'll see about Jeff Bezos's chick? I mean, now I don't know what she did before. She did have a career before, but being married to a guy like that who is a billionaire, trillionaire, probably or whatever, he's a billionaire several times over. You're going to be doing so much public stuff, so much things. Your duty change. Even if you are a surgeon or whatever, you probably have to learn to mix that in with the business of Bezos or the business of when we're talking about super rich guys, okay? Or when you're talking about guys, I mean, Rick Ross, I wouldn't say a surgeon is probably going to do this, but maybe a lawyer or something. And she probably wouldn't quit her job. Maybe her thing is to manage you or something like that. If you're a woman marrying a guy who's got a lot of businesses, or he's let's say, okay, let me let you girls dream for a second. You marry Liddy. Liddy Kravitz, my favorite Liddy Kravitz. Okay, you marry Liddy up in these streets. Okay, there's a lot to Lenny. Okay, he gonna be rock and rolling around and stuff like that. So your energy has to match his in certain ways. There may be certain things I would say to a woman. I mean, he's a Gemini. Okay, I don't know. He strikes me as a nomad. I call him nomad. Okay. So he's all over the place. You would have to, I think a woman would have to definitely have some sort of, I think you'd have to have an unusual career, maybe actress, singer, the typical for him. I think, model, where you can get away but still have your own thing. Okay. I actually think with those type of guys are like, you have to have some sort of, something kind of wild or something like that. There are some guys you can still. Most men wouldn't want you to give up surgery. It's so lack of black women surgeons out here. I bet not hearing no black female giving up their job to run around with Rick Ross, and you a surgeon. You done worked out damn hard. See, that's why people ain't giving up their surgery job because it's hard out here. You know how hard it is to go through school and to go to get first shit, and that's what surgeons do, and they gotta have great hands. Like damn hell no, I ain't. Yeah, no, surgeons make bank. Okay, they ain't gotta hear no bullshit. You know what I'm saying about other chicks? They ain't gotta do none of that. They got their own money. I got my own money. Rick, I might have a roster for you. Surgeons don't need you, okay? Listen, I'm just trying to tell you. Surgeon girls do not need you unless they try to get they the gold diggers. Now, gold digger, and I don't think they would choose Rick Ross, okay? Surgeon girls who gold diggers or something like that, they don't really need the money, but they probably looking for somebody to add on to the empire, or who can empire it. You know what I'm saying? I I wouldn't tell any chick that's got you worked really hard for your shit. Okay, you know what I'm saying? You just had to find a different way to do it. It's because now you have a relationship. So you have to find a different way to move within your relationship and your career. But if your career is very important to you and very special to you, then I don't think you give that up to run around with Rick Ross. Okay. Now, here's what I will tell women. This is just my personal opinion with dudes like this who are in these industries like this. I felt Kayla Nicole's problem was that she had too much. I mean, I love that she was with Travis, but she seemed like it don't seem like I knew what Kayla Nicole did until she got single. When she got single, then I seen her podcasting, then I seen her running. Now I see her in Chris Brown videos. I seen her doing this. She just wasn't an Instagram chick showing up on there with a nice body. Now it seems like she got more that she's doing. If she had done that with Travis Kelce, she probably would have been married to Travis Kelce by now. I mean, not that she wanted to, but I'm just saying she probably would have. I think there was too much energy put into Travis Kelce. Now I think we get the energy of who she is. You get to see, hey, I think she's in a new Chris Brown video and stuff like that. She's really bounced off of that, really breaking up. She's Scorpio. She's really transformed from that, breaking up that relationship, and it's allowed her to transform into something very that where she looks so independent, looks like she's having a great time, she's doing her own thing, stuff like that. I really wish that's what she should have gave a little bit more of. And she's a Scorpio. Scorpios tend to do that when Scorpios are in love with you. That's how I know she really was digging Travis, and because she was really lost in that. She was really she's gone. You know what I'm saying? So you couldn't see her anymore. You got to be able, to me, you always have to show that, listen, bitch, whether it's you, even if you're not working, you going to visit your family, you hanging out somewhere else, you going with your friends. I don't think you should be around him 24/7, 7 days a week. I don't want to be around nobody 24/7, 25 days, 7 days. I mean, like, you know what I'm saying? 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Even I'll be wanting my space, okay? Even married, I'll be like, give me my space. Space is important. I'm a Scorpio, so to me, but to me, also Scorpios can get lost in the relationships too. I felt like she got lost in that, and we didn't see who she really was until she came up out of that. Okay, so I think it's always important to maintain some sense of individuality, because otherwise you become boring. If you start to be everything in him and running around your business is Ricky Ross, then what? No wonder he can't keep no girls, because they get boring after a while. They ain't interested. You know what I'm saying? Like, after a while, everything is about you. Nothing is so. If everything is all about you, you want somebody to have something to tell you from their life or what they're doing, or what it doesn't necessarily have to mean it has to be work, but that they're busy, they have their own thing going on. Even if they using your money, they got your money. You want somebody who be able to take that, flip that, and do their own stuff. So I just saying, I just saying that you definitely want to be able to create a situation where you're still not boring. If you do what Rick Ross is saying, you're telling y'all to do about just, your business is just me, baby. That's why he flipped through them so much, because these girls make the business just him. And after a damn little bit of a while, he probably bored. Don't nobody want to be like no, don't nobody want to just hear about themselves. You gotta be having, even if you're not working, you have your own life. Rick got up to say, hey, babe, I want you to come. I can't fly there this weekend. I'm going with my girl somewhere. Can you come to this now? I'm not saying do this all the time, but say, hey, I do got my own life. I got other things going on. And if he can't handle that, he can't handle that. But I just think women, you don't want to lose yourself in that. Okay, that's just my personal opinion. I don't care how rich the guy is. Okay, even if you're working at Walmart as a manager, and this Negro come through and offer you everything, what I say is, even if you quit that job at Walmart, keep something of yourself. Like, don't let him run that whole thing. Keep something to yourself. Have something about you that's interesting. Have some extracurricular activities or something that you do besides this person. Okay? So that's all I'll say on that. All right. EJ's out here in these streets. I like this yellow dress EJ got on, okay? I rock that yellow dress, okay? But I'm starting to like EJ. I hate to say it. No, should I hate to? Because I didn't like what EJ said about women, how he was saying, I'm the best looking women in the group. I'm the best. I didn't like how he was coming off on Carlos's show. But I've been watching him a little bit more and stuff, and I love his takes on fashion and stuff like that. I think he's funny. There's certain things I do like. I can't lie, man. Certain things I don't like, certain things I do like, okay? But let's pay attention. He's talking about the Met Gala. So
graveyard that this event has become. Oh my God. It just was just that. It's just like all the looks were just awful, on awful and awful, and then a little more awful. Okay, hello, everyone come in. I'm sitting here and I'm looking like, you know, in my Norma Desmond Sunset Boulevard look. I think those are the girls we have to look for. We have to look for the girls who are actually coming and doing it, even if we're like, who's that? Or like, I have to go look up this person, because that's going to be the next wave of the bomb people, of the cool people, of the style people, the people that are getting it right. And we have to just give it to the people who are getting it right and not worrying about the names, because the names are not naming. The big names are not naming, and we have to let them not name and name some new people. So let's get into the name game. The only one who came to work was Emma Chamberlain, honey. And she gave us that vintage Mugler, which was so beautiful on her. It was the pixie cut with the makeup. And then also the hand painting on the gown that made it look like it was painted on her body. She was in theme. It was just a win. And it was like a landslide win, because no one else was even trying. And I think what's also interesting that I noted was, like, you have all the heavy hitters, right? The ones that usually dominate the carpet. You, Beyonce and Rihanna and Kim, and they all fell short. And, you know, it's a very hard day. It's a very hard day, especially for me to say that about Rihanna. And I know she's been going through a lot, but, like, you know, let's go back to the guaupe and the yellow, you know, the yellow cape that was cascading down the stairs all those years ago. I mean, it was bomb. The It Girls too, and your little Zoe Kravitz and your Hailey Bieber and your, you know, Gigi Hadid Do It. And they just really weren't doing it either. It was very...
I agree with everything he said. They just was not doing it. That dress y'all talking about Beyonce had on, she looked like... I'm going to just say this. Oh, can I talk about Beyonce for a minute at the Met Gala? I know the fans don't want to hear it. They don't want to hear it. Some of y'all was saying Beyonce was looking older. No, Beyonce is not looking older. Beyonce is still a beautiful woman, okay? What Beyonce is looking is stressed and depressed. Bitch, she been through a lot. This been a hard year, so it's a couple years. The last couple years, Beyonce just was giving me like, I am barely hung on. Even when she was saying, I'm glad my daughter's here tonight. I get to be with my daughter. I felt like she was about to fall out somewhere. Like, she's like, bitch, first of all, let me just say this. Blue Ivy should not have been at the Met fucking Gala. I'm sorry. I'm like, do Blue Ivy got some friends? Now, I talked about North being too grown, but at least North out here with some 13-year-olds and 14-year-olds. Now, listen, Jay-Z and Beyonce, I have given you compliments after compliments after compliments about how you have put her in the spotlight and helped her understand what that means. But now y'all doing, this should have been a date night for mama and daddy. The Met Gala is for mama and daddy to hang the fuck out. Like, it make me think y'all ain't getting along, because y'all gotta have Blue Ivy everywhere. And Blue Ivy's looking like an old woman. She looking too old. Like, she's looking like, not like an old woman. She looks like a beautiful child, but she's looking like she's carrying a lot of weight. And she's only 13 or 14. Like, she should be somewhere. She should be kind of hanging with North a little bit with the blue hair. Now, she ain't got blue hair, but she should be kind of hanging and getting her some friends and seeming like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it made me think of the way Jay-Z and Beyonce parenting again. I'm wondering, like, are y'all keeping her from friends and stuff because y'all scared somebody might leak out shit about y'all? Is that what's going on? And she's this little girl is going around with y'all every fucking where? This little girl needs some friends. She need to be out here with other people her age. And I'm a girl who grew up with older grandparents. And I was old before my time. But even me, I had some friends and played. I hung out with girls my age at 13 and 14. Even if I didn't kind of like it. But I still hung out. She needs to be social, Jay-Z and Beyonce. She don't need to be up here in between saving y'all shit. Saving y'all from the Epstein files. Saving y'all from all the shit y'all doing. Okay? This is not what that little girl is supposed to be doing. Okay? Now, I said a lot of nice things about y'all, but now I got to come for y'all because her at the Met Gala was too much. The Met Gala is for grown-ass people, especially what I used to hear allegedly that went on in the Met Gala, in them bathrooms. You know, I ain't going to see. I know what they said you score, but I ain't my business, okay? But I'm just saying the Met Gala is for grown people. It is not for no little 13 or 14-year-old to be like, I'm just happy that she's there with me tonight. I'm like, no, you not. You can see little parts Beyonce looking kind of irritated. Beyonce, I don't think you thought it was a good idea to probably bring her. I actually think it was a good idea for just you and Jay to show up. Hell no, it's mom and dad night. You know, y'all to look like y'all would have looked better. But a lot of people was questioning why y'all had that little girl at the Met Gala. Let alone them ugly dresses y'all was wearing. I'm going to get to Rihanna and A$AP Rocky in just about 5 seconds because Rihanna is turning into every bit of what I thought it was going to be. But I'll get there. Jay-Z and Beyonce, if you are going through this, let me tell you something, Beyonce. Bring Beyonce because Beyonce ain't going to live. She's Scorpio Moon. Beyonce down for Jay-Z. I don't care what y'all think. If Jay-Z did it, Beyonce did it. Okay? I'm going to tell you. Facts. Y'all think Beyonce's just being held captive by Jay-Z. Jay-Z, he needs to let her go. Jay-Z, nah, bitch. All I need in this life was it me and my girlfriend. That's Beyonce. She's a crime partner in crime. They couldn't have me. That's Beyonce. Okay, it's the bodyguard. Beyonce ain't playing. Beyonce is going down with the ship. Okay. But I'm going to give her some strong advice here. Now, I do think the ship is wearing on her, though. I think Beyonce is coming to this age where she like, damn, I'm going to tell you the truth about what I really think about Beyonce. Beyonce, forgive me if I'm wrong on this. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong, okay? But let me give y'all my opinion about what Beyonce going through. First of all, Beyonce's 40. What's Beyonce now? 50? 55? No. 45 in stage age, okay? 45, Beyonce, 45, okay, 44, 45. So she going through the midlife. Everybody, when women, we go from 40 something in our 40s, in our 50s, we going through that menopause come for you, okay? And what happens with menopause is you start questioning every motherfucker around you. I'm going through. I'm doing it right now. I'm questioning everybody around me. I've been doing it for the last 4 or 5 years. Be like, the fuck, like you just question. You just start questioning everything, even things you thought was smart. You like, I don't know if I think it's so smart. Did I do the right thing? I think Beyonce's there. I'm gonna tell y'all the truth too. I think Beyonce looked detached from them kids. She looked detached even from Blue Ivy. She reminds me. You know who she reminds me of? My great grandmother was like this. My great grandmother was always detached. I love my great grandmother. My great grandmother loved us. But listen here, let me tell you something. My great grandmother be looking at us sometimes like, who the fuck are y'all? She would. She'd be looking at us like, who the hell is her? How did I get here? Even in her 70s, she was looking at us like, how did I get here? Who are y'all? Sometimes I would catch her having that look in her eye. Didn't mean she didn't love us or she didn't care about us, but it just looked, she was kind of detached. She was like, oh my God. And I feel that's what's happening with Beyonce and nobody's noticing it. Y'all better go get Beyonce's milk. Listen, I think Beyonce is detached. I think Beyonce is looking at her life now and saying, dang, maybe I should have hung out with the girls a little bit more because she's a Scorpio moon. So everything is been about keeping quiet, keeping private. I understand I'm a Scorpio sun. It's like, don't tell anybody, don't show anybody what you really are. And she's got that, and it's hyper because she's the Virgo sun. So she's vigilant about it. She's vigilant about privacy and everything. And it didn't allow her Like Michael Jackson didn't have much of a childhood. Well, Beyonce by choice didn't have much of a childhood. She just, I can't trust. Who can I trust? Everything about the business kind of made Beyonce and her very distrustful of everything. And so now Beyonce's getting old, and she's finding herself sitting there going, okay, this is just my personal opinion about her. My personal opinion could be wrong, okay? I'm okay willing to say I'm wrong, but I'm saying my personal opinion is that she's looking at everything and saying, I done had these babies. I mean, I thought I was down for this Negro, but am I really? He in the fucking Epstein files? And perhaps I should have like been hanging with Kelly and Lala. Maybe I should have went out with the girls more. Maybe I should have been a little bit more youthful. Maybe I should have had a little bit more fun. I've been trying to be the perfect Virgo, the perfect entertainer. Because Beyonce, listen, none of you have us do it as perfect, has done it as perfect as Beyonce. I'm gonna give it to Beyonce, okay? But with that came a lot of shit, okay? And I'm about to get to Rihanna right now in a minute. But Beyonce did that. When you talk about but perfection, I remember my astrologist said something to me because I'm a Virgo moon. And she said, shout out to Apollonia. She said, you know what I hate about Virgos? She said they so perfectionists, they such perfectionists and stuff like that they end up fucking up their life because everything is about practicality. Everything is about the this and that. And she's saying you can't let Virgoism do that to you. You're a Virgo moon, but you're a Scorpio. Now Beyonce's a Virgo sun, but she's a Scorpio moon. Okay, and she's I forget her rising. But Beyonce has been so protective of the goal of her career that she hasn't been allowed to enjoy it. She's wrapped herself in such unnecessary shit because the beehive is over the fucking top. So she don't want them to turn and hate on her because if they turn and hate her, it's gonna be the worst. Because the way they hate other people, it's just it really ain't no hive, Beyonce. That's why I don't want you to be scared. It's really a swarm. It's much smaller than what you think. And you know, it's just like she's wrapped herself in this unnecessary fucking bubble. It's just crazy in the 2026. It's no longer the 80s or the 90s. They're gonna find out what they're gonna find out, B. And I think it's cost her so much to be perfection. Like I got the perfect look. I did it right. I got married. I then had babies, and I got married to a guy who was easily able to rise to the occasion of who I was. Shout out to Jay-Z because he did that too on that level. He was able to rise to the occasion to meet me at my level and compliment me. And he respected me enough in this to make me look good from a public standpoint, okay? Jay-Z has done that for her. He's made her look good. He hasn't embarrassed her, he embarrassed her with the cheating and all that, but he hasn't embarrassed her in terms of I'll talk about it in a minute, okay? But Beyonce's done it all perfectly, and yet there's still cracks. Yet shit's still fucked up. This nigga's in the Epstein vat. You know what I'm saying? Oh man, I got these children. I don't know, was I ready to be a mama? I done had these babies. I am a mama. They 13, 14 now. I got 2 children who are possibly, I don't know what's going on with the other 2. But you know, if you have children I have a goddaughter, you have children who are on the spectrum, that's not easy. I'm not saying that's what's going on with her, but I'm just saying. And suddenly the perfection, all the things that you were perfected, that you thought, I worked this hard, I did this, I did that, it's supposed to be like this, it's supposed to be like this, and it's not. In the vision of perfection ain't nothing but shit. Like y'all see imperfection, but she see the shit. She like, this little motherfucker, take off them glasses, girl. When they telling her take off the glasses at the Met Gala, they telling Blue Ivy, and Blue Ivy just sitting up there not taking off the glasses. And there's a reflection, a little bit of that. Nobody could tell her to take off them glasses, which was interesting to me. Okay. Because let me tell you something. My grandma would came and said, little heifer, take them, snatch them glasses off of me. Did you hear these grown people talk to you? Even though I be trying to be, you don't get back. Shh, hurry up and back there. Now, Beyonce was looking detached, like she didn't even want to look. Like, because she knows that what y'all consider perfection and what she worked so hard for, everything she thought she was working hard for, God, I mean, damn, this is still some bullshit. I'm just better at hiding the bullshit. I did everything right and still got some bullshit. That's what it is. That's what it is. That's what it is. Beyonce, don't feel, but that's life, baby. Okay? Come up out of that depression. Start being looser with yourself. Give yourself room. You done already made it to the top. You done already made it. They done hyped you up. They done already overhyped you. Okay? You ain't got no so what. If you go down, it don't even matter. Just have fun. Enjoy. It's time to start enjoying your life. Get to know them kids in a different way. You know what I'm saying? Understand? And if it's time to get rid of old ass Jay-Z, then let Jay-Z's old ass go. Okay? Say, I always love you. But maybe you need a little bit more something else in your life. I don't know. I'm just saying, I ain't trying to ruin black marriages, but I'm just saying, sometimes it be the end. Although we've come to the end of the road, even the one you down for, still I can't let go. It's okay. You gotta sometimes let it go. Okay, she might need some fresh, something else going on. Okay, but I can see the look. She looks tired and like she about to break because perfection is really a heap of shit. Okay, that's what I'm trying to tell you. Okay. Now Rihanna and A$AP Rocky talk about what looks like a heap of shit and is a heap of shit. I love me some Rihanna, but I'm kind of disappointed. Girls. And the Virgo in me is disappointed. You know what I'm saying? Beyonce created perfection, but shit. You know what I'm saying? It's not really perfection, but at least he make it look like Rihanna. Sometimes Pisces girls just want kids. You know what I'm saying? Oh, no, ask Erykah Badu. Okay. And they'll go through different things, and they don't think about how they get there. I love you, Pisces girls, but sometimes y'all so emotional. Y'all don't with these relationships and everything, and y'all not strategic in them and smart in them and having more wisdom in them. And y'all fall into some shit that y'all knew was some shit. And then you scrambling to find your way out. But it takes years and years and years and years and years and years. The Pisces will stay in the bullshit. Unless you are Erykah Badu type. You know what I'm saying? Like you hate them and leave them. Like Erykah done learn how to just give me the baby. Rihanna, baby, come here. Come here. Come here. I'm going to say your hard truth because I love me some Rihanna. I love me some Rihanna. I don't want to tell her. I don't want to say it. That nigga ain't Jay-Z. Okay? He ain't Jay-Z. Shit. Shit. But he think he Jay-Z. Oh, God. Let me just say this, girl. Rihanna. Oh, baby. Listen, you done had a lot of babies. And that's a beautiful thing. Babies are a blessing, but babies are to bring focus and clarity. Baby's having that third baby you had, you should turn around and be looking at him real clearly. You should be like, oh, it shouldn't be trying to keep a family together and try to make a Negro be Jay. You think he gonna flip into Jay-Z? He not gonna flip into Jay-Z. It take a certain thing to flip into Jay-Z. And ask Beyonce. Beyonce gonna be like, bitch, I'm not so sure it's good what I got over here. You know what I'm saying? It flipped into something, but shit, it at a high cross, okay? But you are already seeing the cracks like early in the game. Like Rihanna, this is going to be hard. As a Piscean woman, I'm going to tell you what you're going to have to do. And you're not going to you're going to have to go to Eric. Go talk to Erica. Because what I mean by that is because you're going to have to learn how to hold your emotions and your power in check. Erica has 3 children, but I'm going to tell you something that Erica's been good at. Jumping out of shit after it done shitted. I mean, she's used that Pisces psychic ability to say, bitch, I'm out. I might be carrying a baby up out of this bitch. But I see this ain't working. Okay, let me hop out. On to the next one. And in that, she's maintained this youthful energy about herself. Oh, she's the ultimate. Not always, a little bit. Not honest. There's some imperfect things about Erica, but Erica, that's human. But she's maintained this beautiful Piscean energy that is very, in some ways, balanced a little bit. Like, because she's kept. My grandmother was able to do this. And it's something this woman has been saying that people do not like. This woman's been saying, things she's talking about, I don't have that many time in the day to be maternal. She said I'll be maternal about 30 minutes out the day and stuff like that. I'm not saying this to Erica Badu. I believe Erica Badu is very maternal. I'm going to tell you about my grandmother. My grandmother never gave, she was very maternal, but she didn't give it all day, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Okay. She was a Pisces in that way. And I mean, a Pisces in learning how to check her emotions. Sometimes Virgoing. My granny was very good at using that psychic ability that Pisces have of understanding to know what I needed when I needed it. When I was little, I didn't think she knew it as much because I was very secretive. But as I got older and stuff, I think she really learned like how to be my friend at some points, be my mother because she was my mother at some points, be the sister friend at certain points. She knew it. I mean, Erica gives me that. Like she's that to her children. Like she is not overdoting, not over spending time. Just I want to be mommy. You're giving me that, Rihanna. And not only are you doing that, is you overly doing it with them children. You overly done, child, oh Lord, the people ain't gonna like what I said. You're looking like you're trying to keep something, like you're trying to create a family. This is my personal opinion on Rihanna. Rihanna trying to create a family, the family she never had, the structure she never had. And the problem with that is that if you haven't got no therapy or no help, you gonna create it with the same motherfuckers that you've been used to as a family. Like you gonna create it, the very thing you thinking you not building, you gonna be building. Dysfunction. So I like to say that I don't know no Rihanna, but I'm using this for some of y'all out here, and maybe y'all can use it. And I could be absolutely wrong about Rihanna and ASAP Rocky. Okay. But here's what I say to you girls. Quit trying to build a family with people that ain't no family. Quit trying to flip somebody over into Jay-Z that ain't Jay-Z. He ain't gonna be Jay-Z. And maybe you're gonna have to learn how to be a single mama with the energy of Erica has. That keeps her music and career important and in the front. My grandmother didn't give up her music and career. No. I traveled with my grandma. My grandma was very much sometimes be singing and different things background. This is She ain't giving up shit. She didn't give. My grandma didn't give it up. But my uncle and them got it. My uncle and my mom and them had a little bit worse than me. I traveled with my grandparents. My uncle and they had a little different. Because it kept, that was her energy. I'm not saying ignore your kids. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying that you're looking overly like you're doing too much, and it's starting to look. It's wearing on your. It looks. I'm seeing it wear on your looks and your body and your brand. Legacy is children, but it's also what you leave in the world too, what you come here to do. You've had such a gift. If you want to go home and eat bonbons and chocolate chip cookies and be with the babies, then drop out of the Met Gala. Don't go to the Met Gala no more, Rihanna. I'll tell you this. Come here. Don't come to the Met Gala no more. Just drop out. ASAP ain't gonna do that. ASAP loved that life. You done introduced ASAP to that whole thing. ASAP ain't that dude. He ain't ready to do that, and you ain't gonna make him do that. And he ain't no Jay-Z. He ain't gonna give you no Jay-Z returns, okay? Not with you, I don't think. But what I will say is this, is that you trying to chase that energy, because it look like it's stressing you the fuck out. And you just ain't looking like your fun, vibrant Piscean has a Pisces should be moving. And they fun career, having fun, enjoying your kids, but also having a balance. You can't be mommy, because you're trying to escape the world and you're trying to build something you didn't have. Go to therapy, get that done. Don't put that pressure on your kids. Motherfuckers be putting pressure on their kids. If you come and say, I'm just a great mom. I love being with my children. No, a lot of y'all is just trying to rebuild families and stuff that y'all didn't have. Y'all damaged from y'all childhood. And a lot of y'all kids, when they get older, they feel suffocated from you. They like, this bitch ain't got no life. All she do is me every day. I have a relative that be like this. My mama ain't got no life. You Cancer and your kids, you're not a Cancer, Pisces. You're a Pisces. You're supposed to be free and deep. Yes, you're a parent, but you're supposed to explore the deeper things of life, the world. Emotional free. That's that you're going to be one of the best parents. But you cannot be a parent trying to deal with these things, these emotional things you're going through. Go get therapy and quit trying to put on your kids your vision of the perfect family. Because you got hurt when you was 5. Because your mama and daddy probably didn't work out and shit. You tracing a perfect family. And then put you in all kind of strange ass relationships because you're trying to chase somebody. You had 3-4 babies by Dusty. I ain't saying ASAP's a Dusty, but that's what's a lot of y'all. Some of y'all out here. Y'all had 3 and 4 babies by Dusty. 4, 5. And wondering why you're stressed out. Because you're trying to chase. You like, I'm trying to get him to marry me. I'm trying to get us to be a family. Let's go home. He's like, bitch, I'm out here partying. That's what ASAP looked like he was doing at the Met Gala. Leave me alone. I'm trying to make connections. Man, Rihanna probably done put him in rooms he ain't never been in before, but that wasn't your job. That was that man's job to do. You doing that man's job. Because you trying to create a perfect family. You trying to flip him into something that he need to do for himself. Piscean shit. Oh, God. The sacrifice, overly sacrifice. Here they go. And then in the end, if he end up leaving your ass, whose fault it gonna be? It was gonna be all on you ASAP. You need to probably get smart like Andre 3000. You should have did it 2 babies ago though. Andre's like, yeah, baby, hold up. And I think that taught Erica something, that Andre 3000. That's why you need it as a Pisces. Rihanna, go talk to some Erica. Okay? Figure out that's how you do it. You need to be flowing out here. You need to be a different thing. You shouldn't be looking like you up in the house. God, girl, that ain't no Piscean energy. Pisces love children, don't get me wrong. Pisces women especially. But you can't be an overly sacrificial, like running around here just doing everything. But it's not overly sacrificial for the family, I don't think. I think that's what Rihanna's trying to give up. I think it's overly sacrificial for what she didn't have. But you'll never have what you didn't have because your whole life is different. You're famous. You're never going to have that regular family. You're not going to do it. But then again, if you are going to do it, you need to stay out the spotlight. So here it is. You got to get another man because A$AP Rocky love the spotlight. Okay, he ain't going no fucking where, okay? You need to stay home, eat them bonbons and cookies that you've been eating and chocolate chip cookies. Give Fenty Savage to somebody else who ready to handle the brand better and, you know, who understand it's not just about having a bunch of babies out here. Listen, let me tell you something. Look at Mary. Look at what's the name for Mary. 25 years, okay? I know she's grateful for them babies. Babies are a blessing. But at some point, babies got to give you focus, to focus back on the things that are important. 25 years, and that man after 25 years said, you know what, shit, I'm ready. Let me go file for this motherfucking divorce like I should have did 15 years ago. Okay? Don't let that be you, Rihanna. Oh, it's just so sad to see. It's just, I mean, everywhere, just seeing like a lot of stress. She just seems like she's carrying a lot of stress. And this is what happened when you get married. Everybody can't do the Jay-Z. Like, I mean, you know, what Jay-Z did was phenomenal in terms of how but he already had a deal. Jay-Z he was already that guy in rapping. And he already had a deal kind of with Live Nation that was going to show that he could rival. He had already done that on his own. You girls can't get men who on the low totem pole and try to make it. Listen, Beyonce even had to pay a price for that shit. But you can't get these low totem pole guys and be trying to think, I'm going to make him a Jay-Z. I'm going to put him in rooms. I'm going to put him in this and that. You can't do it. He got to be able to do that shit for himself. He ain't gonna never respect you. Never. Men want to be men in the end. Now, every now and then, putting them in a room, oh, that's beautiful and everything. And I'm sure being A$AP Rocky, but now he gonna feel like all these rooms he got in after a while, in many years past, it was because of me or was it because of you? That's the problem. That's the one thing a powerful woman always has to think about. Like how you show up in relationships. Like a lot of these women be trying to make these men. It be so many of these women, they know they married, they got a lot of money and stuff like that. And it's hard to do the work on themselves to be able to get the right person for their life and fit. So what they do is they get the first thing smoking. There's something that looks somebody, and then they try to give it jobs. They try to give them manager positions. They try to give them work. They try to give them. Beyonce did not have to do that with Jay-Z. She didn't have to give no Jay-Z no job. Jay-Z was already kind of that guy. I'm not saying it's perfect over there. I already said with Jay-Z and Beyonce's problem. I'm just saying that Beyonce didn't have to give Jay-Z nothing. It helped being married to Beyonce, complimented each other. Hell yeah. But he know that he was already him and Dame Dash. I would question more if it was a Dame Dash. Then I would question Beyonce. Whatever it was made through him in the Dame Dash era and all that. He didn't need that, and he made deals after he came out of that Dame Dash era. He didn't need Beyonce for that. So when you dealing with a guy who's just beginning to creep through and he's just becoming to be a rapper and he's just starting off and everything like that, and you a big ass star and everything, and you don't get pregnant by him. But if you do, okay, only have one, but allow that man. Don't try to be marrying that man and be this and that, because everybody, even if he get his own deals, ain't nobody gonna think he doing it on his own. Everybody gonna think your ass has something to do with it, and probably do. Even when he think he getting it on his own, it's because somebody might want to work with Rihanna. Or somebody might want something with Savage or Savage Fit. You know what I'm saying? So you gotta allow a man to do his own shit. You can't be coming up in here and then hovering, just giving up babies, giving up, just having them, just having them. And then expecting him to be you. He's not. And eventually he's gonna resent you. It takes a whole lot of healing to do those type of relationships. You really do. Next story. But EJ was right about this. The whole thing. EJ told the whole truth. It was just they all look like a raggedy Met Gala. Now I did see this week. What was it? The Devil Wear Prada 2. I really enjoyed it. I really did. You know, I'm having this thing with myself that a lot lately that I've been questioning, even with Jay-Z and people like that, just been questioning. Like, I was even in class. We had a class last week where before we had a presentation, we were having big discussions, and we were discussing the Met Gala, stuff like that. And I remember something my aunt had told me as a young girl. I remember I was so power to people. You could tell me, I'm not going to do this. But I said, girl, one thing you're going to have to learn in this life to do is finesse the rich. I'm not saying sell out your ethics and your morals, because I don't think that would, in the end, will do you any good. But I do believe that the Bible says, and the Bible has a very powerful saying, and I keep going back to it, that the wealth of the wicked is laid up for the just. Constantly throughout history and biblical history, you can see evil men working on behalf of good men. It's one of the things in this world that we question, but it's still so powerful. There's a part in the Bible that people argue about all the time. Pharaoh. Moses goes to Pharaoh and he said, hey, Pharaoh, God said, let my people go. And Pharaoh, the Bible says, heart was not, he didn't like it no way. So the Bible says that God hardens Pharaoh's heart. And people started to think that means that, oh, you ain't got no free will. No, God already did. He just used what Pharaoh had made the decision to do, not let his people go. And he hardened him in his decision. But it is that thing that would make the Israelites stronger, more powerful, and more of a resolve to go out from under the people. Go out from under the slavery in Egypt. Oftentimes, or you have times where evil men in the Bible will do good things for people who they nowhere near their values. It's like when you see the drug dealer in your neighborhood. Like I used to have certain drug dealers, pimps, stuff in my neighborhood. Stuff would come up to me. I'm like, hey, let me tell you something. You're gonna be a beauty. You're gonna be cute. Don't you let these little blah 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 tell you what to do. You keep your head on straight. Well, all right. You blah 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 blah. They thought, but they still would do good things. They were still trying to pour into me good things, even though they were in rotten shit. You're like, yeah, okay. Don't let me catch you out there. Because they sometimes evil, they would protect me in my neighborhood. Even when I didn't know I was being protected. It was dude said, you don't be nobody mess with her. And they weren't such great people. So we had this question come up in class, and people was talking about the Met Gala and who runs it and blah, blah, blah. And I know because the world is becoming, these millionaires are sucking up everything and billionaires and stuff like. But there isn't a time throughout history that this hasn't happened. But power does not belong in the halls of great men, of rich men, wealthy men, political men, no matter what you think. Power is sometimes so subtle and goes unknown. I think we're confused about what power is in this world, or what it looks like it is. Let me see. Let me pull it out here. I think we and then you read stories like about a woman who was a Catholic nun, born an Albanian Indian, who had so many of the great men of the world wanted to come to meet her because of the life she lived. Talk about power. Probably could get some of those men to give to things that they would never think of giving to. Champion causes that they would never give to. I'm talking about Mother Teresa, of course. What a powerful entity in this world. Power lies in people you can't imagine. I always talk about my spiritual mom on here. One of the most powerful women I have ever met. Did not have wealth. Health was sometimes strange, could have been better. But she carried with her such a power that if you were sick, she could pray for you and you get healed. She had a gift of healing. She had the gift to speak life into people. And there were people in our church, men who of wealth and stature and different things, who honored her. Give her money, give her things. Power lies in so many things in this world. And I guess what I'm saying is that I'm starting to not know anymore about different things. You know, I'm not saying lose your I'm trying to think of the best way to say it. I'm not saying lose your value system, but I'm saying that favor can come from the most strange places. I love that I was watching the Devil Wears Prada too, and I love that when it seemed like somebody outside their value system, what I loved about it is because the people were just, they didn't react to certain things in the way she thought they should react and everything like that. They weren't as emotional or tied to it, but they understood some things about how it worked. And this character that's Anna, that's Anna Wintour, and it all makes me think Anna Wintour's a dear. Doesn't mean she can't be mean, because she is a Scorpio, but because Scorpios can be mean, but I tend to think that Anna Wintour is probably a lot deeper than people think. But the world that which she has to move and operate in makes her look cold. But I bet you'll find, I mean, there are things that probably happened in Vogue that changed the atmosphere where some things didn't. You know what I'm saying? It could evil. Here's what I'm saying. Bad men can do sometimes, bad people can sometimes do great things for good people. I know it's hard to explain, but in this movie, I was looking at them, and when they found somebody that didn't want to move to their value system, they went and found another person. I don't want to spoil the movie, but that adhered to a value system for at least for that time. But that person was able to come in. But the power in that, people would have said, oh, it's the money movement. No, the power was the movement of how those people moved in a bad situation. The power was in that, how they moved to get things done that they needed to get done. It's almost what I'm telling y'all about Donald Trump. I think Black people have did a total disservice to themselves. That what we could have learned, what we didn't understand about the slaves were super powerful. Hell, Carlotta, they was getting beat up. They was getting whooped. All kind of stuff was happening to them. But the slaves understood the landscape. Nobody understood more when the reason that the Yankees won the war was slaves coming in listening to conversations sometimes that their masters were having. Some of them were spies and would listen to certain things. Or slaves were really good at making the master think he was, yes, sir, boss, or whatever you say, Master Charles. Master Charles says, yes, blah, blah, blah. And they go back there and say, that fool don't know what he wants. You got to blah, 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 blah. But they learned to play the hand that I can't, and it helped them to survive. And for years there, these were horrible people that owned slaves. Some of them. And some of them would treat them horribly. Not all of them. Some people thought they was nice people, but it was just the institution of slavery was horrible. But these slaves learned how to handle these people in ways that they could that they protected their lives and the lives of their children so that they can keep going on. And one of the ways that they did that was always sometimes playing the fool when they wasn't the fool. Sometimes I'll go over there and talk to Mr. Such and Such. Our parents even learned a lot. The older back you go in generations, let me handle Mr. Such and Such because they know how to finesse them. Now, Mr. Charles, you don't want such and such running that for them. It's better if this blah, blah, blah happened. And they would listen to these people because these people had some sort of great power or sway. And what I hated about us as Black people is that we get too sometimes emotional about certain things. We've become so now that we're in complete flight all the time, but we haven't learned to finesse our enemy. Like our ancestors did. They could finesse sometimes people, slave masters into being nicer, kinder, giving them something, handling something because they had to go into a system of survival. But now it's all like, well, let me show, I ain't going to allow that to happen to me. I ain't going to blah, 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 blah. And then I hate this and that. I hate Trump. I hate blah, blah, blah. It's just, and I'm like, what kind of energy is that producing? You can still speak up and hold your value systems because slaves held their value systems and still get favor from people that don't even like you. How do you think that Dr. King dealt with going up into the White House having to deal with Kennedy and Lyndon B. Johnson, who allegedly hated Black people? He learned to talk the talk. Walk the walk. What we've done is we've created so many unnecessary, sometimes unnecessary enemies. with power structures. There are times when the power structure does have to become the enemy, and God will let you know that. But then there are times when we just fighting an unnecessary fight. It's just crazy. But this movie was so great because it was about people learning to work within the system to get the things they needed in a world that was ever changing, in a world that was becoming less and less kind, less and less caring about the things of importance, our people, but them trying to hold those values in place and still having to work within a system that was doing that. Oh God, I loved it. And it made me think about us as humanity, and it made me think about myself. How do I work within a system that I despise and don't like sometimes, but it's a system that is really happening? And how do I work while it is day? Because the night comes when no man can work. So I want y'all to think about that today. That's y'all, it's a word right there. Okay. Think about the power you hold. It's not Jeff Bezos that has the power. He's got a lot of money, but power lies in you. It's every individual. It's what Michael Jackson said. I'm starting with the man in the mirror. It's as corny as y'all think it is. That's one of the best songs ever. I'm asking him to change his ways. No message could have been any clearer. If you want to make the world a better place, take a look at yourself and make that change. We talk about on here a lot of celebrity stuff and everything, but at the end, I'm hoping you see yourself in them. And I'm hoping I can speak to you with a little bit of knowledge I got, a little bit of wisdom God gives, and be able to say, don't do this, doing that. We can learn from other humans. Because I learn from other humans. But it really starts with you. You have to make the change within yourself. It's not about y'all constantly, or it's Trump, it's this person's fault, it's this person's fault. But how about looking at the man in the mirror? I had to do that this week. I was like, man, something was happening. And I said, well, you know what? I didn't like what these certain people was doing. I said, this what they was doing is horrible. I didn't want no relationship, but I said, one thing you ain't gonna do, you ain't gonna just keep looking at them. You gotta look at yourself. What did you do not right? What did you do to bring this energy into your spirit? Because you don't want this to happen anymore, and you want to draw different things because you are responsible for the energy you let in your life. How did you get in this situation? And I had to be honest with myself. It was a particular situation, and at the time, I remember how this particular relationship, friendship, thing started, and I said, my God, I was so disconnected from myself at that time. And as much as God would try to get my attention, I just did not want to connect. I didn't want to do the work. I was just like, it would be easier for me to just pass it off and to not do it. And that is why if I would have took on that thing a long time ago, the situation wouldn't have turned into what it turned into. And I had to reflect back on myself. I said, people were able to take advantage of me because I wasn't taking full control of myself. And that's where it starts. Yeah, people come to teach you lessons, but baby, it's about the man in the mirror. Let's listen to Michael Jackson today and put it on laugh. It ain't Trump. It ain't nobody. It's the man in the mirror. When politics go bad, people love to blame them tired ass politicians that's in that Congress, but it's really all of us. I used to love George what's his name? George Carl, I forget his name, but he used to always say that if you have crazy politicians, because you chose those crazy politicians, you're crazy. And it's not just Trump; it's on both sides. It's not just Democrats, it's Republicans too. I mean, it's not just Republicans, it's Democrats too. There's an extreme side on the oh my God, there's some extremists over there on the, oh Jesus. On both sides. And so today, if you want to make the world better, how did you get here? If you don't like that the Met Gala was being ran by a certain, what is it that you can do from your point of view to make that thing better? And it's like, have you even read about, somebody was talking about something the other day, I put up very interesting, that the Bezos, some of the things that they were trying to believe in for this and that, you can let me tell you something. Rich people with no soul, you stir these people to the direction they want to. You want them to be in. Trust me on that. If enough of y'all get together and enough of y'all say no, they ain't gonna do shit. Okay? It's about the power of the people. But it's not always about canceling somebody. Sometimes it's about working within that system. Okay, so I see this is a system where, hey, Jeff Bezos has a lot of money. Okay, so how do I make this system work? If it's too powerful for me to fight there is something I need to learn on the inside, because you're more powerful than a system, or more powerful than values. You God shall, right? So if God is not allowing you to topple that system, then find out what are you supposed to learn about working within the system? Because sometimes God is trying to teach us something, not to lose our values and morals, but to work within a system without losing our values and morals. The wealth of the wicked is laid up for the just. So what does that mean? So say for instance tonight, let me just say for instance tonight, you got a big thing that you want to work for inner city kids, and you feel like, hey, I need $20 more million, and you get a phone call up and it's JD Vance on the phone saying, Mr. Trump would like to see you about your program. And everybody's saying, you better not go. He's evil. He's this and that, and he's this and that. And it's when everybody in the world it touches each other in some way. Okay. But if you ain't doing nothing that's too crazy, I'm just saying, do you get what I'm saying? You may have to go and sit down at that meeting to hear what he's saying. That don't mean you accept what he's saying, because our money ain't good money. But then maybe he said, hey, I just want to hand it because I like the program. I just want to hand you. You don't know how God will use evil men to do great things. Hey, I just want to give you the money because I just like what you're doing. No strings attached. And you can hear that little voice inside of you, the Spirit of God tell you, take it. Because sometimes, I'm going to tell you the way the world is. Sometimes evil men will do good things with expecting nothing back from. I'm not talking, you got to always see what the money's coming from and how it's coming. But sometimes people give out the goodness of their heart because they like you. They see the favor of God on you. They don't even know why. They don't even know. I've heard stories of people going in to talk to men who look like they're the greatest men in the world. And I've heard ministers, like they used to talk about Elvis Presley, how Elvis was at top of the world. Elvis Presley would call certain ministers to just ride with him on a plane and pray with him, and talk to him. They say about, because he was you don't know where God's favor is coming from. Now you got to question everything. You got to be wise. The Bible tells us to be wise as serpents, but harmless as doves. You got to be wise. You can't take money from everybody, but sometimes evil works for your good. Y'all better understand something today. Y'all better understand. Y'all just got to understand that you don't give up your value structure. But sometimes it'll be people with less values and structures than you and who will give. See, that's what happens with y'all a lot out here. Y'all judge what people get. Like y'all start judging now. Y'all judge like, Jeff Bezos gave him, like we talk about, what's that dude's name? Van, I forget his name. Van, he used to be on, he always crying. He used to be on CNN all the time, and he used to work for the Obamas or something. But Jeff Bezos gave him $100 million. Now, any other person, I wouldn't have questioned it, but because I've seen how Van rolls out here in these streets, I'm like, why'd you give him $100 million? And I don't even know what he actually doing with it. It's like you don't really see nothing. I don't know if he gave him $100 million to give a message. Okay, I understand the questioning of that. But there'll be times when people will just give somebody the money for a program or something and won't expect nothing from it. And they'll even say, hey, don't even say I gave it to you. Or don't even this and that. I'm just trying to tell y'all that the world is so layered in so many ways we connected. Even King James, if you read about the King James Bible, how the Bible gets called, a lot of people denounce the Bible because they didn't like King James. Dumb fuck. That's dumb. King James was just the guy who okayed it. Even because something in him was like, okay, a thing that wasn't so good, he okayed. Listen, same thing happened with slavery. You think they wanted to end slavery? You think Lincoln was all that? Not really. But sometimes favor comes out of things that you could never expect. The world is, this is what I'm just finding out. I'm just not telling y'all to do anything, and I'm not saying don't question certain things. I'm just saying we've become a loud ass society, always complaining, always arguing. We don't know the intricate details of things and how people are moving, how certain systems move. A lot of y'all mad about the Met Gala. Y'all mad about all this stuff. Y'all mad at Trump for this. You're mad at this and that. You're mad at this. You're thinking, and a lot of you just don't know how all these intricate things are aligned to come together. You just don't know. You don't know what you don't know. And you think you know. Sometimes we just got to get quiet in our spirit and say, what is it that I can do better to make this world a better place? And God, lead me to the people that can help me fulfill what I need to fulfill for you. And you might be surprised who helps you fulfill that. Don't be surprised. Okay? So that's why I'm gonna end that on that. Okay, that's y'all. It's a word. I knew it's a word would come. There it is. Okay. All right. So that, just don't be surprised about where. And this is a young lady who said something, and I don't know everything about what she was talking about, but I want to play a little bit of what she said, and then I'm gonna go on to some other stuff. Okay. Okay. Let's see. Okay, there's this young lady talking about, I thought this was interesting.
Be there, she's cheap, this and that, blah, blah. But nobody, I didn't see a single comment where anybody actually addressed what she actually said. She announced at the Met Gala press conference that they would be investing in sustainable textiles, $34 million. And this is directly from their site. They're giving $11.5 million to Columbia University to work with the Fashion Institute of Technology to develop materials from bacteria. That's insane. That's good stuff. $10 million for UC Berkeley to research and develop biodegradable fibers like biodegradable silk, lab grown silk. That is a good thing, especially if you claim to be somebody that's for animal rights. And I was also watching their video. They're giving $11 million to Clemson University to develop a sort of cotton that it already comes out the color that you wanted. So that's something that could reduce dyes in the ocean. And $1.5 million to the Cotton Foundation, which directly will help farmers as well. So if you're somebody that feels like billionaires create so many of the world's problems, environmentally speaking, then this is something that you should be happy for. Nobody was focused on what she was actually saying. Everybody was so caught up on, she's a billionaire. Why she?
And I kind of agree with her because I didn't hear anything about the speech. I've just heard about how much people hate Jeff Bezos. And listen, y'all didn't have Jeff Bezos before when he was that little old bookseller on Amazon. Years ago, selling books on y'all could buy for cheap. But this is when you build a monster, that's what happens. So it's not his responsibility to maintain the monster. It should be his responsibility, but it isn't his responsibility to maintain how that monster appears in society. It is up to you and how you keep. A lot of y'all are arguing about stuff y'all don't even really know what's going on. Like, you really don't know the thing. And so I'm not saying you let Jeff Bezos out here running around. I'm not saying that. But I'm saying a lot of y'all mad at people because they got $1 billion. Like, sometimes it's just about understanding the dynamics of everything. Like Jay-Z, there's a clear-cut situation here. Jay-Z thought he had a deal. Jay-Z, I understand. Here's what I'm saying about Jay-Z. And I understand how Jay-Z gets there. Jay-Z is not, I don't even know if he finished high school. So Jay-Z gets these white billionaire people who try to tell him, hey, you know what? I want to make you look good. Brooklyn, and he didn't understand all that stuff probably that was going on. And now he still can't admit that he sold out his own people and made a bet. Yeah, he should be Jay-Z. The first thing you should do is say, let me get this straight. The Brooklyn thing, I don't know if it was a good idea. I don't know if I did the right thing. Because it did get a lot of my people. It made the neighborhood look better, but it got a lot of my people out there raised the rent. I don't know if I got used in that situation. But he can't say that because he's still caught up in that. He's so caught up. So I see a clear situation there. It's clear as night, clear as day. You know, it's like he's got to come to terms with some of the things that he's done, and that the people that they're directly saying, powerful people in these files are saying, we used him. I mean, he's not a nice guy. He doesn't try. You know, I said he still got drug dealer mentality. You know, I got a person in my family, and I always talk about them because I say they used to be real big in the like they used to steal all the time. And I said they still a thief. They just don't ain't breaking in nobody's houses. They do it different ways. What it means is that sometimes people may have graduated up out of you may have graduated up out of stealing stealing from you might graduate out of stealing and breaking in houses, and maybe now you at the bank doing stealing money at the bank you work at. Or now you done learn how to what is it they call it when they clean money and stuff. You done learn how to clean, but you doing all kind of finagling. You still a thief, but you just became a fancy thief. Well, that's what I feel like, man. Jay-Z's a fancy drug dealer. Okay, that doesn't mean that these people, but it doesn't mean. I'm gonna check you this. If Jay-Z tonight say it got a scholarship plan and you need some money for school, it don't mean you don't take that money. As long as ain't no tricks to it, you ain't got to go around and say Jay-Z the best guy ever. Sometimes it's just a scholarship money. Now yes, I'm in total disagreement with Jay-Z. Listen, I'm telling you, there are times you take stuff from people who you don't like. Sometimes your enemy is your footstool. That's what y'all got to understand about some of these wealthy people. Sometimes your enemy is your footstool. You got to know when to say no and when to say yes. You got to be wise as serpent, harmless as dove. This is the kind of world, this is how you're going to have to move in this world today. And it's not a lazy way to move. We've been moving lazy. We just want to protest everything. Somebody tell us something bad. Okay, we go out here protest. We don't understand the intricate details of everything that means, how that moves, how these systems move and flow. I'm not saying don't challenge them. I'm saying be wise how you challenge them. Understand them before you challenge. A lot of y'all be out here challenging stuff, don't know what you're talking about. Like they was talking about Taraji, talking about the Met Gala. I said, is the only reason you ain't about the Met Gala because you wasn't invited? And then they turned around and said she's selling her stuff on Amazon. Girl, please. Okay, but she ain't came out and said, hey, yes, I'm using Amazon like everybody else. Amazon is out here. That doesn't mean I can't disagree with Jeff. I would have respected her. That doesn't mean she can't disagree with Jeff Bezos and what Jeff Bezos and his wife and all these people are doing with the Met Gala. If she's got a clear-cut explanation, but she ain't got no clear-cut explanation. She was just out here talking to me because she just came in and said, what are we doing? What, why? I don't know what you getting mad at them for. What you getting mad at them for? You got to have a clear-cut explanation about why you upset with the Met Gala. And then you also use the Jeff Bezos platform. That doesn't mean because you use Amazon. Amazon's everywhere. I don't know how the fuck you can't use Amazon, okay? It's everywhere. Like Walmart, how the fuck you can't? Well, unless you're super rich, it's hard not to go to Walmart or Target or something like that. The question is, how do you challenge these systems and break down these systems in certain ways? Doesn't mean you can't challenge the system because you use it. That's where a lot of y'all done got life messed up. Y'all think that mean, oh, you friends with them, so you can't challenge. Yes, you can challenge somebody you friends with. Craziness, this is the crazy stuff we doing. We don't learn how to compartmentalize and think. It's either black or white. It's real crazy out here. It's like people don't have no way they don't know how to explain their belief systems, anything. It's just that it's like a lot of things have gotten y'all riled up. Y'all got too much information and not understanding it. So that's where we're gonna leave that. It's just crazy. Should we go to Steve? Talking about somebody crazy. Stephen A. Smith. I want to talk about that. I like this because Phoebe had him up. Phoebe, she cracked me up. She's so funny. But I'm going to just play this part from her thing by him, what Stephen A. said this week.
I can cook for myself. I don't want to. I want you to cook. I'll pay for the food. I'll take you out. I'll take you out every week. Yeah. We're doing it. But damn it, the only thing I'm doing for myself is getting up for some cereal. And you there? I better not smell pine sol. There's a problem. If I'm smelling pine sol, why are you there?
Does she work?
Yeah.
Steven.
Oh, yes. Why? Because I don't want you home all day long thinking about what I'm doing.
But
I need you preoccupied.
What in the police is? Oh my God. It's funny what she says. Y'all gotta go over there to see Dope Feed Thieves, but that's why you get to know somebody. You gotta get to know these men. I mean, Stephen A.
Telling me I gotta be financially stable.
Stephen A. sounds absolutely crazy. Like he want a maid. Oh yeah, she working. These are men who really have who learned a lot of bravado, but really don't know how to be men. They really don't, because if you've ever been in the presence of, like, Stephen A. makes a lot of money and stuff, but he still acts like a man that don't. Men, real wealthy men, they expect certain things, and ain't just women cooking and cleaning. Like Jeff Bezos' wife. Do you think Jeff Bezos' wife sit at home all day and fucking clean? She's giving speeches out there to help his business, to help expand the empire that she is now a part of. Nigga, she ain't got time to be sitting up there. That's why you still thinking of low ass shit. You thinking your woman is just to clean your house, cook your meals and shit like that. Nah, not when you got $100 million, fool. She should be about you. Hey, how does she help expand the Stephen A. brand? We even with her brand. But he's a complete idiot. Some things Stephen A. say is good sometimes he say is dumb. And this is one of them. Like, this ain't no Handmaid's Tale, the Testaments. You know, they feel like they trying to go back. They trying to start that. I mean, come on. She don't cook and clean. He don't have no. That's why you don't have no idea. Women do so much more. He wouldn't know what to. That's why he's not married, because he wouldn't know what to do with a woman. Women are heavily layered. They're not just built for. I better not smell no pine saw you in there. The fuck you think women are just here to have your children and babies? Women are multi-layered, and they're multi-layered for different men for different things. And it's clear this man is functioning on a certain type of level. So all he might need is a cook, cleaner, and a baby haver. Cook, cleaner, baby haver. And there's nothing wrong. Listen, ladies, there's nothing wrong with. I'm not so dogging people who just do that. I'm not, because there's even more to women who do that. Women who have babies have to be mothers. They have to give into the child's life, and not in the way you men simplify shit and think it is. They have to be masculine and feminine. Sometimes when you're not around or you're at work, they got to learn to play both energies and stuff like that. Women are very heavily multi-layered. If you don't understand what a woman is, you're going to misuse and mishandle her. And especially a dumb bunny talking about he worth $100 million, and all he see a woman doing is cooking, cleaning, and eating. I bet Jeff, they be sitting there looking at him like, what? I mean, like women are like what? You think that Jeff? I'm just using Jeff as an example. I use him all the time, but you think there wasn't something about this woman that he found intriguing more than cooking and cleaning? He's like, I'm worth $1 billion. You gonna have to be cooked. I bet not smell no pine saw. He don't even have that kind of language in his conversation. He like, that probably ain't nowhere. It was probably things that, could she understand what I'm doing? Does she align with me? Or does she seem like she aligns with my vision for things? Does she this and that? Does she blah, blah, blah? It ain't just about, this is a dumb bunny. This ain't just about cooking and cleaning and washing your clothes. So low vibrational and dumb. And that's why I see why you ain't married. Okay? Just ridiculous. I don't even. Poor girls. Oh my God. You can't, men, this can't be the only thing you be looking for. You don't let this, you know. Okay, we talked about the South African thing, protests against migrants a little bit at the beginning. A lot of people in South Africa been protesting people coming into their areas. I talked about why I thought that was a little bit. It says protesters for South Africa ask illegal migrants to leave. Has recent attacks led to death of 2 Nigerians? I don't like violence against nobody. I think we all humanity. This world, God put this world in place for all of us. But I do believe that governments do have to have immigration policies, because every government doesn't share. What governments want from you essentially is that you share the vision of their government. United States, it's hard to, United States is a place where you can believe in anything. And you can have communist views if you want to. You can have this and that. You can have this and that. But what the United States, even though the United States has schizophrenia regarding this, or has had, I won't say schizophrenia, they've had bipolarism regarding what they want to be, freedom, democracy, and all that, because they once was the main democracy of slavery, and where racism was taught, and where all kind of hideous things was taught. But the majority, the American thing now is that all men are created equal. We hold these views to be self-evident. All men are created equal. And you might believe in communism, but you don't impede on anybody else's right to not believe in communism. We don't have this, even though America hasn't upheld they shit all the way. But you get what I'm saying? That's the vision. They don't want you coming in here talking about jihad. No offense to Muslims, but they don't want people to say I'm killing to make you believe what I believe. No, they want you. You can come in here. You have the right to believe in your theory, your this and that. So that's why they vet people in different countries. They have an immigration system. So they make sure they getting people who understand you can have your beliefs, you can have your systems, but we are a hodgepodge and we are one. We all believe in the idea of democracy and freedom. At least that's the thing they say. Okay. And they don't want, you ain't supposed to get, ain't nobody coming up in here and we don't want to disagree with that. So we make it a lot for you to get here, even though people do slip through the system, but it's a lot. So this is what you have, these systems, because when you have people who don't share your value systems and you have people who still love their values from their old country, and they country, you coming over here with the values that you doesn't mean that you don't hold your hometown true, the values of India, you don't hold this and that and everything, and you can't share some of those values in America. But this ain't India. Or this ain't Jamaica. You know what I'm saying? It's just, but you can come with your Jamaican energy and Jamaican background. But also understand you're in a new place. And what's important to the new place that you have come to root yourself in. That's why it's important to understand, to be aligned, even when you're living in different cities, and understanding what you are aligning with. What are the values and things of the city? So I understand South Africa has they like, we got, everybody can't run up in here. You illegal. Can't have no illegal. It's illegal. We got a system that you come here through. And the system only lets so many in because we don't want to overcrowd and we don't want 1 billion people running up around in here. You go over to India and them countries where it's overpopulated, it's crazy. Look at New York City for overpopulation to see what the fuck they got to deal with. Rats coming up at the... Man, I'm just trying to tell y'all. Okay, you need to have balance. They gotta have immigration laws. It don't. Anytime somebody sit up there and tell me something about it, I had somebody tell me this week. They had me discussing about, well, when my ancestors came over, there was no. I said because they needed people at that time. The system was new. You got in at a good time. You got in when they were building it up. But you eventually your people had to become legal. Today, we have a full system that can deal with this kind of thing. But if we don't, we got to make it better because we just can't have you crossing over the border. And the same thing, Mexico don't want that either. Neither does Europe want that. Europe is dealing with problems now from for crazy situations they don't let happen. Systems have to be in. I ain't got time. Okay, y'all know what I'm talking about out here. Okay? The world is for everybody, but certain people are over certain territories and things like that, and you have to understand that. Even when you move from city to city, systems are different. That's what happens. A lot of people move from California and move to Texas and expect Texas to be California. Texas is not California. Now, you can bring some beautiful values you learn from California, but how Texas runs is very different, significantly different from how California runs. Okay? And then a lot of times people don't understand the politics in which they're running away from. Like, you have people running from other countries to another country because they never grounded themselves and rooted themselves into understanding the politics in which they're running from. A lot of people, when people have taken on refugees and stuff like that, refugees in most of the times in countries have been they've been people who were working against those systems. And they're in danger, and now they have to get them up out of there. And so the world says, hey, we'll we will take on these people because these people weren't just let me see, hold on. These people were people who are free in persecution and seeking safety in their own in another country. It means they were persecuted. They were fighting the system. They were this and that. There's a reason they are being persecuted, but no one place takes them. It's several people throughout the world that take refugees. Okay, it's not one group can't handle a bunch of people. Okay. And so now y'all done messed up even the real people who are political refugees from coming into the country, for coming into different countries. Because a lot of y'all what y'all doing is just fleeing for no reason. You didn't help nobody, you didn't do nothing in these countries. A lot of people don't want that. Don't nobody want no weak ass people coming to their country like you okay, the fuck, you couldn't even stand 10 toes down in your fucking country. Here you come running over here. This is not what refugees do. Refugees are being heavily persecuted because they are standing up against the system. They are this and that. And the persecution has become too much where their lives are almost in danger or they're in the midst of genocide. But a lot of y'all is just dealing with bad water, bad this and that shit that motherfuckers can vote in place. And y'all just keep voting bad people. And then y'all come over here and you don't change your mentality. You say, I want to be in the land of free, the land home of the brave. And you don't change it. You just voting all crazy. You don't know nothing going on. You just still looking through the eyes of your country. When it's a whole nother system that you have to somewhat become accustomed and assimilated to. Partly what's happened to America over the last 40 or 50 years is my personal belief. That's personal belief. Not always. Americans have become weaker, yes. But a lot of times they have a lot of illegal immigration has brought in a group of core people. Not all people who are illegal immigrants, but a lot of them just like to escape. Like they don't want to do nothing. They just rather they come over to another country and just leave. They don't understand that countries have structures. And that the fight you leaving, there's another fight in another place. Yes, there are some countries that are more this. Even if you have to go to another country for a little while, that's what a lot of times refugees do. They go to another country for a little while to help them help rebuild themselves and get a core of people from their country. Like a lot of people from Cuba and stuff connect to other people in Cuba and trying to build a strong core to topple what they feel is a bad government. But they couldn't do it from inside. So some people had to come other places, but dream one day of going back to Cuba, or dream of seeing Cuba in a better place, or dream of seeing their home country in a better place. I'm not saying Cuba isn't beautiful. I'm just, you know what I'm saying? I'm just using that as an example. But we can't have just people. They don't want just people just running up over there because you just running up and you ain't just got no reason, you ain't got nothing you believe in. We had that in the States. Black Americans do that all the time. Move from one city to another because they so spoiled and they don't understand dynamics of what they was running from in the other city because they didn't vote right and they didn't start thinking like, you know what, I better become a better voter. What is it in Texas that they do better than California? Why did I leave California? Why I didn't like high taxes? I didn't like this and that. Then nobody does that. They just move and they carry their bad politics right over here in Texas. Start changing the system, and Texas started looking like California and then you be like, rent getting up and that. That's because you moved here and you didn't understand politics and you didn't understand the reason you moved. You are uninformed mover. And that's what happens with a lot of illegal immigration. Not all of them, but a lot of them. Okay. All right. So, man, I want to leave on a softer note. Okay. So we get ready to get in the show, but let me leave on a softer, funnier thing. Okay. Wow, there's so much more we got to talk about. Did we talk about Klay Thompson and Meg Stallion? I think I've already talked about that. Yeah, I think Clay likes, I think Clay don't be no fool out here, okay? Sometimes people, but Meg was moving too fast. I think I said that the other week, okay? Okay, let's end it with this. Ebro and them trying to get some attention, I guess, for the podcast or whatever, saying something absolutely crazy. Okay, trying to get some attention. Shit. I'm always tired when people trying to get attention, okay? Everybody wants some attention nowadays. Let me just say this. Okay, McDonald's, first of all, is phenomenal. To see McDonald's doing what it does today. See, any other, when you talk about the fast food joints, the fast foods and all this stuff like that, when we talk about Walmart, even when I say they the Walmart of the thing, they over processed over out here, stuff like that. But Walmart's not really over processed. He's just the king of showing how that's done. Michael was the king of showing how that's done. The rest of y'all is over processed. Like they just sold y'all too much and everything like that. Michael, they was actually selling that really talented thing right there. After a while, no, I don't know too much that's better than After a while is one of my favorite albums. I ain't gonna argue. Thriller is not better than After a while. But I also love the Invincible album by Michael. It's one of the greatest underrated albums ever at Michael Jackson's catalog. Okay. Oh my God. And any of the ones that Dark Child and what's his name? Teddy Riley and them worked on, man, they did that. I mean, I listen here. Okay, we ain't gonna even die. You know what? Do you remember the time? Oh my God. I mean, listen. First of all, if Michael Jackson can be the McDonald's, because he introduced, it's like the first McDonald's, okay? He introduced McDonald's was good when it first opened, okay? McDonald's was great. It ain't, everybody ain't have ownership in it and stuff like that, okay? So it's like Michael Jackson. When it first opened, it opened for the right reasons, but now everybody using the McDonald's thing to get, make stuff happen. You know what I'm saying? Even when they don't deserve the McDonald's brand, it's a lot of these franchise owners that don't deserve a McDonald's, because they don't understand the original concept of McDonald's. But the original McDonald's has a very powerful look. Thriller is the original. If you're going to call Thriller McDonald's, it's the original one, okay? It showed you how to do it. It showed you how to put good music throughout the world. It showed you how to break systems down through music. Nah, Thriller wasn't better, but Thriller was damn good. And I don't know what you're talking about. The Girl Is Mine wasn't good. That's my song. Do you understand the way you think? Yeah, Paul McCartney's corny, but Michael made it the bomb. The girl is mine. I say. That's still my song. Say what you want, but don't play games with my affection. Hey, wait a minute. The Girl Is Mine was top. I think one of the six number ones on there. There is no song on, I don't know what y'all talking about. Ain't no skips on Thriller. Ain't no skips on After a While either. Ain't no skips on Thriller. Not one. Name one. There is not one. Even the B cut, Baby Be Mine, is the best song to me on here. I love Baby Be Mine. That's my jam. Okay. Lady in My Life. Ain't nothing that not a cut on here. Even Beat It. I still be, they told him, don't you ever come around here. You ain't heard no Beat It like that song made like that. Only Michael could do that. It's like Prince could only do certain things. The only thing comes to Beat It is I'm bad. You know I'm bad. Only Michael can do that. None of y'all can do that. Y'all look corny. Michael made that song not corny. Billie Jean, Dun, 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 dun. What does Thriller mean? Michael saying, listen, hey, it's gonna be a thriller. They out to get you. Demons closing, every side. Like after you see a scary movie, they will possess you. Now is the time. He's describing a movie like going to, hey, when back in the day when dudes would take you to the scary movie for you and not to cut up close to get. What does it mean, fool? Did you listen to the song? Out through the night, I'll save you from the terror on the screen. I'll make you see. Listen, hey, Michael said, I got another thriller going on, baby. Don't ever dog Michael Jackson for lights and pops. Michael Jackson, and y'all ain't gonna never see no Michael Jackson this time. It ain't that simple. It ain't about numbers. It ain't about this. You just ain't gonna see another Michael Jackson maybe for 2 generations. You ain't gonna ever see another Michael Jackson because there's only one. Okay, but you will see maybe some form of fame like that, maybe in about 100 years or something like that. Maybe 50, maybe 20. Okay, you might have a good 20. Maybe a form of fame, but you ain't gonna never see Michael again. You ain't gonna never see Michael. That was something you ain't gonna never see again. Okay, and that's what Thriller is. That's what Thriller means. I was listening to some kids the other day talking about Ola Ray. I said, oh my God, they was talking about they didn't believe something about Ola Ray. I said, y'all must about Michael flirting. I said, oh my God, I hate when the kids don't have references on Threads. I'm like, I was a little girl who stayed and watched. I watched with my friends. I remember taping on when we first got a VC. Was it like we had first got our VC or early 80s and big old things or something like that? We had something crazy. And I remember I saw the Making a Thriller like 5 times. So I bought the video thing. The Making a Thriller was better than Thriller. Oh, like he was just a flirting with Ola and he was running. I was so happy. It's like, look at him. Oh my God, look at Michael. Me and my friends would go crazy. We'd just be like, we just sitting there. My grandpa just walking, coming down, still shaking his head, like, look at these little crazy girls. My grandma be like, Lord have mercy. I'm bringing y'all in some popcorn. We probably watched it all night, Making a Thriller. So we can tell y'all that Ola wasn't lying. He was flirting with Ola. Sure. I better shut up. Little dum-dums. And Ola still is. She's still beautiful. But Ola was back then. But Ola was the first video girl, first original video girl to me, okay? And a bomb, okay? So yes, no, yeah, she ain't lying, okay? Oh, it was so cute when he said, I'm not like other guys. I think I rewound that like 100 times. He said, I'm not like other guys. I'm like, oh my God. If he said that to me, I just passed out. Now, listen, that was the only person I would pass out about. Passed out at that time, I was 10, okay? I ain't got that today. But I would have passed out at 10 if Michael said, I'm not like that. Oh my God. And when he's on PYT and he's talking on PYT, me and my friends, we used to like be listening to the album. We put the album back. I probably scratched my album going back and forth. You and I can, just spend the night together. We can get together for a while. Oh my God. I just be like, did you hear? Oh my God. We screaming. We hitting each other. Oh my goodness. Y'all didn't understand. It was crazed. Okay. I'm for real. And it wasn't just young kids. It was old people. It was white people. It was Black people. It was Mexican people. It was Germany people. Michael had it. Michael had motherfuckers on lock. Okay. Michael had people crazy. Y'all ain't seen nothing like that. Y'all ain't gonna see nothing like that. I don't even gotta argue about it. Okay. Go back and get a bunch of videos and see. Okay. It still won't tell the story unless you was there. I hate that you wasn't there. You couldn't see it. Oh my God. You couldn't see the pandemonium and the wildness that was Michael Jackson. Okay. And what Thriller did. Thriller, yes, we can call Thriller the McDonald's of albums because Thriller taught everybody else how to sell a fucking ad record and do it well. Shout out to Michael Jackson. And y'all still ain't got no album better than Thriller. Ain't still no album out here that done outsold Thriller. Not one. Don't be giving me no Drake strings. You can be faking them strings all day long. They was buying records. People was going outside, buying a record. They went and put the $7 down in their hand. Even if 30,000 of them might have been, you know what I'm saying, they might have bought 30,000. But they was putting it promotional use. They was putting the money in the record. We go to the record store. See, little kids, let me tell you something. We used to have record stores. And they be certain days they be having the record will go on sale, and you go out and you pop your money down. You get like And they give you a whole big vinyl. You know the vinyls. We couldn't wait. We used to actually buy records. I understand why y'all buy them now. It's a lot of, I wouldn't be buying them out here. I see it. Okay. I want to say this before I go out too. Before I'm going to leave at this, okay? Tyler about Rihanna. I don't care what Tyler said about Rihanna. The reason Tyler's not making this because, baby, it ain't just on looks. She's pretty as all outdoors. She's gorgeous as ever. But your looks, we got 1,000 Tylers around here. It's they all got leotards on. They all run around showing leg and little skinny bodies and all this. Tyler, we've already seen Rihanna. Rihanna's not respecting you because she already seen. She like, this motherfucker's just me being me. They born from me. All of you. There's nothing remotely interesting about you except for the crazy stuff you said on the radio regarding color and everything. And that's because basically you haven't learned other cultures and learned how to be. That's why A&R is good. They used to cook you for a little while, and the A&R reps and stuff used to cook you for a little while to give you media training and all that. Are y'all doing that nowadays? They cut them departments. They cut them departments because these motherfuckers out here, they just be talking. They the old Motown A&R things and stuff like that. That's what Tyler needs. Tyler, first of all, Tyler don't sing that good. Tyler's Cassie remade to me. No offense, Cassie. But Tyler is Cassie. Tyler's the new Cassie. Real pretty. But there's a lot of pretty girls out here. Okay? And that's it. That's why Cassie didn't make it, because you're real pretty. It's just, but that she should have done movies. Maybe Tyler can go into something else, like movies or something else. But the music, we done heard it before. It ain't remotely interesting. We got 20 girls over here that can do that. Shit. So that's what's Tyler's problem, okay? We just need her to do something. You either come deeper. I just really don't think singing is your thing. You know what happens? Let me tell you what happens. It's a lot of y'all that be kind of pretty. Like that, y'all be real pretty. And they say, somebody come with a bright idea. Hey, maybe you can be a singer. Because they think your pretty is just gonna, and there was an era when pretty would help. You know what I'm saying? There are people that even talk about, let's talk about the voices that are unusual, but aren't like big old voices, like the singers, okay? I would put Beyonce in that category, but y'all gonna get mad at me, okay? It's not that Beyonce is a great voice, a good voice, but she's not like a Whitney Houston, but she's a good voice in terms of how it's an unusual voice. It's a different voice. I love Beyonce. Always sounds like it's a kind of, it's like it's a falsetto run thing that she kind of has. I really like. But yeah, but in Beyonce, there is a uniqueness that when you hear Beyonce, you know it's Beyonce. That's what Chloe's problem is. She's trying to run around here being Beyonce. You can't do it. Even with that I saw that new makeup that Chloe had on the other day and looking like like this new clown look or something. She looked real pretty, but it's still giving me, I don't know who I am. I don't know who I am. I don't know who I am. It's still giving me, can I try this? Let me see if you guys accept me with this. You look real pretty, but it still looks like you don't know who you are. Okay, but going back to Tyler. Tyler is like, it's nothing new about you. When Rihanna came out, we loved Rihanna. You know why we love Rihanna? Because she was this feisty island girl who had and she was cute like Beyonce, and she was getting, and she kind of gave that island. It was kind of new, like a bad girl, like a good girl gone bad, like her album was called. And it was like she was like this free spirited. At first, they tried to sell. They Ponder. What's that Ponder replay or whatever? It was okay, but at first we was kind of like we was about to run off of her for a minute, and then they found that her key, bad girl, good girl gone bad, or whatever, bad girl gone good. Oh shit, I don't know. But they found the key with that album. They found it. That was Rihanna. That was really who the fuck Rihanna was, boy. And when Rihanna, we ain't turned back. Rihanna just turned it on, like turned it all the way up. Like, bitch, let me be that island girl. I ain't no nice little girl. Let me be who I am. Let me be. I'm half ratchet, I can be very classy and beautiful, but I also can be this. I can also be that. I mean, oh my God, it was dope. Tyler, you giving us regurgitated shit. We done already seen it. We done already seen. You got to come when you coming in America to try, especially you come up in these hoods and stuff, because it's a million fucking Tylers around here. Okay, it's girls who will run you off the map every. We do not need you to come up here with this same shit. Okay, you can't do it. You can't Africanize it. You can't whatever you do. It just don't matter. We not that impressed. So you got to dig deep down in the core of you to find something impressive. I actually don't think you a singer though. That's just a real try. Like I didn't think Cassie was a singer. Okay, so that's just me. But if you want to be the little train that could keep, by all means, believe in yourself, believe in your dreams. I'm just telling you, in America, it's gonna be a whole lot harder to try to play that shit that you've been playing off. You're gonna keep selling 4,000. You're gonna keep selling 1,000. People gonna keep hating you on these internets. Okay. And that's the end of the show, you guys. Thank you for hanging out with me. And make sure you hit me up on the Carlotta Chatwood Facebook page. You can also hit me up on CCHow and Carlotta72 on Twitter, on X, even though I haven't been on there in a long time, but I still go in there and look and everything. You can also hit me up on Threads. There is a link for Threads on Instagram. Now, my Instagram is Carly's_Galaxy. Okay. You can also send me messages and stuff like that on there too, if you like the show or if whatever you need to say, you don't like, whatever. Okay. You can hit me up on there, and you can also listen to the show on YouTube. Okay. Under the Carlotta Chatwood Show on YouTube. All right. Thank you guys for hanging out. It was a long show today. Shit, I didn't mean to go this long, but I did. Okay. I haven't talked to y'all in a while. I got a lot to say. All right. Y'all have a good one. And I don't know what electric music of the day I'm going to end up with. I got to get y'all. We got to get where we can listen to music again. This electric music is driving me crazy. All right, so let me give end y'all with let's see. All right, we out. You guys have a good. Well, I don't know what this song is, but have a good one. All right, see y'all. Bye.